Really gets the hair standing up on your arms, does it not, Robbie?
It really does. We're on the Veen here at Derdimus Park ahead of the KCLR McCalmont Cup final between Evergreen and Thomastown. Should be an absolute cracking game, it must be said. 2021 winners, of course. Evergreen defeated New Park in last year's final with a Mikey Drennan penalty.
I can see Budgie Pine standing over there as well, the New Park manager. Budgie, a big freebooters man back in my day, used to manage me from youths up until I left soccer under 16s and went to Fort Rangers. I'm a journeyman, Robbie, if anything.
Yeah, to say the least. But you're an expert today, Shane, so looking forward to the game. Just to name the teams for anyone listening in before the game starts: for Thomastown, number 1 Kieran Farron in goal, number 2 Shane Malloy, number 3 Adam Power. They'll be the full-backs today. Centre backs: number 4 Robert Skeen, number 5 Mickey Thomas. In midfield: number 6 Aaron Keogh, number 7 John McCarthy, number 8 Mark Delahunty. Up front, Paul Curran wearing number 9. Nathan Sherry is number 10. He'll be captain, and the danger man on the wing, Casper Konopka for Thomastown, wearing number 11. The bench reads: number 12 Sean Brennan, number 14 Andy Kavanagh, strength and conditioning coach with Birmingham City, actually back for today's game. Number 15 Rory Monks. Number 16 is Stephen Connolly. 17 is Luke Skeen, and the final substitute for Thomastown today is Jack O'Byrne. For Evergreen, obviously last 4 times winners: 17, 18, 19 and 2021. Unfortunately the final didn't go ahead in 2020 due to COVID, obviously. In goal, Philip Johnson. The captain today is number 2 Tommy Earls, playing at right full back. Left full back is Sam Hickey wearing number 3. His brother is also in the team, number 7 Ben Hickey, playing on the wing. The centre backs are number 4 and 5 Niall Andrews and Sam Johnson respectively. Craig Wall is number 6. Ben Hickey, as I mentioned, will be on the wing wearing number 7. Number 8 is Declan Quillen. Number 9 up front is Andrew Wall. Mikey Drennan, former St. Pat's Sligo Rovers and Shamrock Rovers man, is wearing number 10, the match winner of course with that penalty last year against New Park. And number 11 is Mark Slater. The subs today are number 12 Jamie Owens, 13 is Damien Kelly, number 14 is Dylan Hunston, 15 David Grinsell, 16 Lee Delaney, 17 is Chris Worthy, 18 Jamie Byrne, 19 Nathan West, and number 20 is Anthony Mulvihill. Today's game is brought to you with thanks to Frank Grinsell Properties and Clear Life and Pensions, both on Dean Street, Kilkenny. Living local. We're just about to get underway here. Shane, how do you see it going?
Robbie, I just want to go back to the team sheet there. You mentioned Andy Kavanagh. Andy Kavanagh is the last captain to win the McCalmont Cup with Thomastown. They're the last team to win the McCalmont Cup that wasn't Evergreen. So he's the last man back. He's after coming. He's a strength and conditioning coach over with Birmingham. I've played against him a few times. Played against his brother Robbie, went to school with him. Andy is quality. We've seen it in the Oscar Traynor team over the years as well. So that's going to be an exciting addition to the team. An ace in the hole, if you will. Stephen Connolly as well. He went down injured in the semi-final against ourselves, Castle Warren. He was their danger man. He was the one that got the goal. There was a big doubt of whether he's going to play or not, but he makes the bench today as well, which is fantastic to see.
It is certainly. The game has just begun here. Thomastown with kickoff, playing from left to right as we are looking out, with the dugout on the opposite side of the pitch for those that are that know the surroundings here at Derdimus Park. An absolutely beautiful day, it must be said, as Evergreen get on the ball and look to pull it wide, but Thomastown get in behind. Here is their number 10, Nathan
That's
Sherry,
Nathan Sherry. Nathan Sherry is a fantastic
man.
player. He played for the B team in our game against them, came out, scored a hat-trick from goal. Just an absolutely fantastic. He's still giving me nightmares. Looking out there, he's a big, strong guy. A lot of lads are going to have trouble against him. Thomastown are going to be a bit up against it. There's no doubt about that. They're underdogs coming into this game.
How do they have to play this game, Shane? A bit more defensive than usual?
I think they're going to have to keep in the game. We've seen it last night in the Champions League final. I know you're a Liverpool fan. Yes. First of all, Second of all, we've seen it in the Champions League final with Real Madrid kind of just been able to keep Liverpool at bay. Courtois playing an absolute blinder in that one. But I think if Thomastown managed to frustrate Evergreen for the opening exchanges, the last thing you want to do is to give away an early goal. And we see the ball coming out there. Oh, it's
from Thomastown,
back to Philly Johnson.
Back to Philly Johnson in the goal for Evergreen. But Evergreen clearly going to play up from the back. That's their principles throughout the course of the season. We've seen them to a Divisional Cup semi-final and a Premier Division title already, of course, looking to complete the double today. Do you think it's just going to be the case of Evergreen, or Thomastown rather, having to sit in for large spells and looking to hit on the break, which would maybe be more unusual to their game, considering they are probably favourites in most games they play, like we've seen in their run to the final? I
think they're going to be fairly wary of them, because they shipped 9 against them at the start of the season, which is a huge number to be shipping in against any team. For a Premiership side, Kopke gets the ball in, goes out for a throw-in down in the corner, just out of our eyesight. But Thomastown also then shipped in 4 goals against them in the return fixture in the Premier League. So they're going to be wary of Evergreen's threat. When you have someone like Mikey Drennan up top, he's played his trade at Aston Villa. Of course, he started off with Evergreen, but played his trade with Aston Villa. He's been with Portsmouth, and he's done really well in the League of Ireland as well. So when you have a danger man like that there, you're going going to have to be conscious of it. He scored 2 goals against freebooters in the last game as well, so he's going to be a big danger man for Evergreen, and you're going to have to be conscious if you're Thomastown of it. The ball gets whipped in for a corner.
Oh, he attacked it very well there, did the Evergreen centre back Mickey Thomas, I think it was, coming in there. He tacked the ball. Unfortunately, he couldn't hit the target from an Evergreen point of view, and it goes out for a goal kick. Kieran Farron, the man from Castlecomer, his 3rd season with Thomastown, just about to come to an end. I'm sure he'd be delighted if he could complete that with the KCLR McCalmont Cup today. He's about to take the kick out for Thomastown. A pretty solid goalkeeper, to say the least, and a solid back 4 for Thomastown, but they're going to be absolutely pushed to their limits today, it must be said, because Evergreen are the informed team, not just of this season, but the last 3 or 4 years.
You look at that ball being kicked out there now, Robbie, and you can see how condensed Evergreen want to make it for them. And the ball's going across.
Over the top.
Philly Johnson comes out and saves. You see how condensed Evergreen wants it to be, which means that if the ball comes down to a Thomastown player, there's going to be someone immediately on them. The ball has gone long from Neely Andrews, former Kilkenny player, and Waterford, it has to be said, was a guest on our Scoreline soccer show not so long ago. Ball's heading out onto the wing. Evergreen are looking. Oh, it's a nice little one-touch Benzema like there from Mikey Drennan. The ball is running down the wing, but the defender happens to put it out there, and you get a little boulabus there from the crowd.
Yeah, throw for Evergreen. A boulabus from the crowd that has come in eventually. I think they were slow moving in, but obviously there is a big crowd, as there always is, for such a wonderful occasion. I suppose the occasion is a large part of this game as well, Shane. It's not just a game between 2 sides. You have to play the occasion. We've seen over the years that maybe it gets the better of the favourites sometimes. Do you think that's something that Thomastown can
that's a long throw in from Shane Malloy into the box. You see that Rory Delap was famous for with Stoke. Used to call it a dilapidator when he threw it into the box. You've seen the ball getting thrown in there. It's almost like a corner. Robbie's having a bit of trouble. Adam Power gets it out there now to Nathan.
Yeah, it's Evergreen
Mikey Drennan
with the ball. It's number 11 for
Mark
Evergreen.
Slater is running down the wing on the left.
He runs down the wing, and it is a throw-in. It's a throw-in for Evergreen. They're coming in and applying a lot of pressure.
Robbie's having a few technical difficulties.
Technical difficulties here. We're not usually out in Derdimus Park, of course. Netwatch Cullen Park for Carlow are facing Tipperary today.
Only a 1-point lead there for Tipperary in the second half.
On our Carlow frequency, and usually in UPMC Nolan Park too. So a few technical difficulties, and hopefully you can afford us that, considering we are usually not out in this location, but a wonderful location it is for the final. And Evergreen are applying
another throw, and Neely Andrews trying to get his head on it.
Yeah, it comes out to the edge of the box. It falls to number 8 for Evergreen today. That is, of course,
Mark Delahunty. No, that's Mark Delahunty is number 8. Sorry for Thomastown, my mistake.
That
was Declan McQuillan.
Declan
McQuillan, he's a man that's played his trade over in the US. You don't see that a lot, getting scholarships going over to play in the United States. We've seen it, of course, on a Carlow perspective recently with Blessing Kingsley being able to do that, former Wexford Youths player. So it's tremendous to see these people coming back. You never know how well an Evergreen player in Gavin Houlihan is doing currently on course for his 2nd promotion in a row, this time with Grimsby Town. He could come back someday to the Evergreen.
And it's cleared away from Thomastown. These long throws seems to be applied by Evergreen so far, and they're playing
Declan
a lot of
McQuillan on the
Declan
ball.
McQuillan picks up the ball. Sam Hickey now collecting it, wearing goggles, of course. I was actually at a match where he got that eye injury for St. Kieran's College many years ago, still flying it for Evergreen in that left full-back position. That ball unfortunately did go out though, and it will be another goal kick for Thomastown. We've seen the pattern of play early on, Shane, probably to be expected that Evergreen will have a lot of possession, a lot of domination in the final third, and they're just going to have to be patient and bide their time to break down Thomastown, who are in a really good shape, it must be said.
Yeah, it is. It's a tetchy affair. As I said, you can see how condensed Evergreen are trying to play. You see their back line are coming up quite high, while their forward line are dropping a bit deep. A kick out here now from Kieran Farron from Thomastown goes long. Neely Andrew goes up to claim that, and that's what you get when you have a quality centre back. We know Neely might be pushing on a small bit in years, but that absolute class that he shows every now and again, and class there from Tommy Earls, the captain, getting that ball out from the right back to the left wing.
Yes,
over.
Mark Slater taking it on now, and here's Neil Andrews again at the back line. Evergreen passing it around the back, not afraid to keep possession as Mikey Drennan picks the ball up and gives it back to Neely Andrews.
Like, see Mikey Drennan coming back so deep for
very
that
deep
as well.
there.
Why? He's almost in line with Neely Andrews in the back line, just because he wants to get into the game. He's dying to get into the game.
Yeah, Thomastown not applying much pressure high up the pitch, it must be said. Well, the odd press here and there, but mostly they are sitting deep enough, a kind of a half press, I suppose, people that would be familiar with.
That's a great touch there by Andrew Wall.
Yeah, unfortunately the ball went out for a throw, couldn't complete the pass, so it is a throw.
Thomastown's Adam Power stepping up to take it now. Throw-ins are always kind of a weird from a defensive position, especially when we are down in Division 2. It's always about a knock-on. We've recently talked to Liverpool's old throwing coach as well. And
Thomas Gronemeyer.
Gronemeyer, and he's talked about how actually concise you can be from a throw-in and almost have a scoring opportunity from different set-piece plays that you can do. And it just goes to show how technical the game has gone.
It really has. Set-piece coaches across the board.
There's Mikey Drennan now picking the ball up in midfield.
And it just goes out. Again, Evergreen struggling to get patterns of play going further up the pitch, but as I said, dominating possession in the early exchanges here. Thomastown, I think, would be pretty comfortable and pretty happy with how it has gone as Adam Power gets set to take the throw just on the halfway line here at the opposite side of the pitch at Derdimus Park. It goes in, but again, it's gone out a bit scrappy at the start. Shane, do you think who would that suit better? Probably Thomastown for the moment anyway, to kind of ease themselves into the game.
I certainly will. Thomastown will be quite happy with the way they're making Evergreen. We've seen a few long balls. Now, the long balls from Evergreen are very, very good at times, but we've seen a few long balls. They're starting to get a nice passage of play there going. And the ball is right back out to Tommy Earls, number 2, the captain. Of course, he's making a charge up down the right wing. Hits the ball off the shins of a Thomastown midfielder.
Yeah, and Thomastown now have the ball with their number 8, Mark Delahunty. Delahunty looking to play out, but unfortunately that's been pressed from Thomastown.
Decky McQuillan with a
strike
shot.
From McQuillan. First strike of the game for either side. Decky McQuillan with a strike. He pulled it a bit with his weaker left foot, it must be said. Never really expected that to go in. And it is out for a third goal kick of the game for Kieran Farron in the Thomastown goal.
You were at the game last year now, Robbie.
I was.
And a lot of people had New Park as underdogs.
Yes.
Now, they certainly kept it in. You mentioned an 86-minute penalty from Mikey Drennan scoring. It was the one that kind of grabbed the cup for Evergreen. And again, then, the season before that as well, it was a very slim margin victory over Fort Rangers. Yeah. So it looks like that Thomastown, even though coming in as underdogs, will certainly be able to stop Evergreen.
Yeah, I think the occasion plays a large part in today's game, to say the least, Shane. I must say. I think if you're Evergreen, you get a bit tentative, you get a bit nervous. You know that kind of, you can see the first goal, you're going to be under massive pressure. As we speak, a long ball in there, went up to
That's
the
first time the ref blew the whistle.
Yeah, first free of the game. It's going to be a free just within Evergreen's half for Thomastown. You would presume that they're going to launch this in long, which just goes to show a change of plan again for Thomastown today. But like I said, I think all these little things that happen, long free kicks instead of going short, stuff like that plays into the underdog's hand, and the occasion I think that we've seen last year at New Park certainly is a massive factor when you take into account the kind of magnitude of the game. As we speak, it is the number 8 Mark
Delahunty gets the ball in. The ball is headed out by Sam Hickey.
Really well there. It comes out to the number 11 Casper Konopka, a very dangerous man for Thomastown today, but unfortunately he couldn't keep it in. It goes out for a throw. Konopka looking like he is going to take that throw rather than Adam Power, who would usually be over them on that left hand side of the field, the left full back for Thomastown, opting to leave that with Konopka, the winger. That goes into number 10, Nathan Sherry, the captain today for Thomastown, but he couldn't hold it.
Oh, it's a fantastic shot. It just goes wide.
It was a good effort. I think it was John McCarthy there in the middle of the pitch, came up, volleyed it on the volley. It was a good effort, but it pulled a bit wide of Philly Johnson's right hand post, and it will be a goal kick for Evergreen. We see the change in approach from both sides there. Philly Johnson going short immediately with his goal kick. That's obviously something that Gary Mars put into his
Neely Andrews.
The poor pass from Niall Andrews as Thomastown come after again. Is Casper Konopka running that, but Andrews stops him after a disappointing pass. He is certainly made up for his error. He kicks it out, and it will be a throw on the left hand side of the pitch. But the change of approach from both sides, I think if you are the underdog, it's all about keeping 0-0 as long as possible. Is it Shane? Or Thomastown are having a bit of a go, must be said, when they get the chance to. Unlike New Park last year, I think we're happy enough to sit in.
Yeah, I think Thomastown are, like we seen with the shot there, and when the shot happens you get that belief. But the organisational skills, just going back to that free kick from Mark Delahunty, the ball came in, no one else on that Evergreen talked except Neely Andrews. That's a leader. Yeah. And then if you have someone like that in the backline, I know he had a bit of a stray pass there, but if you have someone that composed in the backline, it's going to be hard to break him down. But Thomastown are doing well. They got the shot off. There's only been 2 shots in the whole game so far, and Thomastown are pressing them as well. They're not allowing Evergreen time on the ball there at all, and it's really nice to see that they're probably not going to be sitting in as what we thought there would be. The ball goes back to the centre back.
Pass there from Casper Konopka, but number 5,
Mickey Thompson.
Mickey Thomas cleaned it up before Mikey Drennan could nip in and intercept the ball in what would have been a dangerous area of the field from a Thomastown point of view. Evergreen looking to go on the attack now from that throw. Playing at pace, I think Evergreen. Whenever the ball goes dead, you can see that they're trying to speed it up, but that was a shove in the back from number 6, Aaron Keogh there, or rather Craig Wall for Evergreen, and it will be a free kick to Thomastown. Very, very close to the halfway line here at the opposite side of the pitch. A lot of play going on down that left-hand side for Thomastown, obviously Evergreen's right-hand side. Do you think it's something they would have targeted, Shane, going off past meetings? Obviously they were heavily defeated 9-1 out in Evergreen on that AstroTurf pitch, and 4-0 also, so they have looked at different areas where they can attack Evergreen.
I don't think that there's a particular pattern of play. I think Sherry up there, we have a chance maybe on the edge of the box.
Now falls to number 6 for Thomastown, Aaron Keogh. Can he get the ball? No, it's
Can he work a corner?
Like
Thomastown are pressing them very, very hard, which is great to see, and they're putting Evergreen a bit under the cushion, has to be said. They're forced to be putting the balls out for throws in and stuff, and when you have a throw in that can go long and get on the top of Neil Sherry's head, anything can happen at that sense.
Yeah, Adam Power throws it in, finds Casper Konopka. He's looking to hold it up. Unfortunately, from a Thomastown point of view, he couldn't, and the ball trickles out for a goal kick, which Philly Johnson will take from the right hand side of his goal. Obviously, both sides have had different routes to the final, to say the least. Evergreen quite comfortable in all their games. 6-0 against New Park in a repeat of last year's finals, as we've alluded to on the numerous occasions during this commentary. Evergreen 4, Bridge United 0 in the second round. 8-0 victory against Dean Celtic at home, and then a 3-1 win, come from behind win against old rivals Freebooters in the semi-finals. Freebooters, of course, Evergreen have the most titles with 17. Freebooters second on the list with 15. Thomastown only have 2, which is a surprise for the club of their size, but looking to add a third to their list today as Evergreen come out with the ball. It's Mikey Drennan playing very deep. Surprised to see that, Shane?
Yeah, I'm very, like, he's one of the best strikers that we've produced here in Kilkenny, and I've mentioned his history before, but he is dropping in very deep, almost like he's playing a number 10, but because the ball is not getting up to him, because they can't find that pass, and there's no really passing really happening. We see the ball going long quite a bit, and because Thomastown have been so dogged the past while, any time that an Evergreen player gets on the ball, they're closed down immediately. So that's why someone like Mikey, who would be used to be receiving the ball to his feet, maybe is back to goal and maybe able to do a turn. That's why he's coming deep. He's trying to create for themselves. And you see that with top strikers everywhere. And I'm talking about the Premier League. I remember one day Lukaku was almost playing like a number 6 for Manchester United. You see them dropping deep because they're dying to get in the game. These are ballers and they want that ball.
Yeah, that's something Thomastown will be happy to see. It must be said that they are frustrating the star man for Evergreen early on. They get on the ball. There's power into Konopka. Konopka has a strike. It's a good effort and a good save from Philly Johnson. The first real opportunity of the game in today's KCLR
the first shot on target.
It was a good effort and a good save from Johnson. That's one that a goalkeeper likes to have, just to get the confidence up early on throughout. But Thomastown are definitely attacking down that left, it must be said, Shane. Almost all of their attacks have come from Adam Power and Konopka down the left, and they're causing a bit of trouble to Evergreen.
Yeah, and they certainly are. But what that can also do is lull Evergreen into a false set. That's a dodgy pass to the centre back.
But well dealt with there from Sam Johnson, Niall Andrews, partner at the heart of the Evergreen defence today. The ball trickles back to Kieran Farn in the goal, and presumably he will go long with the ball in his hands, as he has throughout the course of this game, from goal kicks and when the ball has rolled into his hands.
The ball's going up for Sherry, and he misses the header.
But he's certainly the target man for those long balls, is the captain, Sherry, number 10 for Thomastown today. It's become a bit of a scrappy game here down the left, but Sam Hickey gets on the ball, gives it in to Sam Johnson, and Evergreen look to play out through their number 6, Craig Wall, playing in that whole midfield role today. Again,
it's another long ball, but what a fantastic pass there.
It's just going to run out of play, unfortunately. A good effort from Craig Wall, looking to find, I think it was Ben Hickey on the right hand side for Evergreen, but he just failed to find him, and it goes out for another goal kick.
But just going back to what you said there, that Thomastown looked to be overloading the left hand side, that could be a play at the start. So you overload the left hand side, then the defender for Evergreen, Sam Hickey, who's playing left back, he can kind of get lulled into a false sense of security and just be like, you know what, all the plays going down that way, and then boom, number 7, John McCarthy then gets the ball on the right wing for Thomastown, and that forces Sam Hickey into play then as well. So it could be it could be deliberate in the sense that that's where they identify the weakness, or it could be that they're planning to switch the play, which can happen very, very soon.
Yeah, here they come down the left again with Konopka, but it's well dealt with and false, and Niall Andrews wearing a strap on his arm today. Must have had an injury with that left hand arm, the experienced centre half.
There's Andrew Wall.
Here's Thomastown picking up the ball again.
Another fantastic ball. See, I told you that switch of play can have a left back and a left centre back kind of switch off almost, because they know that all the work is going out on the other side. Neely Andrews with another long ball. This is going to Max Slayer. Max Slayer takes it down. Oh, it was offside.
Oh, it was offside, but that's certainly, you can see with both sides, Thomastown targeting the left, and Evergreen, surprisingly, it must be said, going very long with the balls in the first 15 minutes gone here at Derdimus Park. He's surprised to see so many long balls from Evergreen.
Yeah, but especially when Philly gets the ball in goal, he passes it out. So he passes it to Neely, but then it's almost like Neely is going long then as well, because there's no options there. We're talking about how condensed that team is. No one's really charging down the wings, bar the left-hand side, but when you're talking about charging down the left-hand side, they're getting to the edge of the 18-yard box and trying to get it in, or trying to create a pass from there, as opposed to running down the wing.
Yeah, the crowd looking for a foul there on Thomastown captain Nathan Sherry, but wasn't to be. Here comes number 6, Gary Cole. He plays into Konopka. Konopka looks to find the number 8 for Thomastown, Mark Delahunty, and if he had have found him, Delahunty would have been one-on-one with Philly Johnson, who collects, gathers, and drives the ball forward again, looking for Mark Slater down the left wing for Evergreen.
Shane Malloy, that was a good header from himself.
Yeah, it was a good header. Here's Evergreen coming out with the ball, but it falls to Thomastown's winger.
John McCarthy gets that ball out to Delahunty.
Finds Delahunty involved in the early exchanges of this game, it must be said, really getting into it. He finds his number 9 par with Curran playing up front today with Sherry. The ball goes out, Curran puts a cross in, and it is cleared by Sam Johnson, but only out for a Thomastown corner, which the midfielder Mark Delahunty will take. Thomastown will be very, very delighted, their supporters and management alike, with how they've started this game, to say the least.
It looks like Evergreen are setting up for a zonal kind of positioning as well from a corner, which is something that you'd rarely see. Where I'm always going man mark, but it's zonal marking, which is strange.
Good effort, but it's just falling all the way out to number 11, Casper Konopka. Certainly been a danger man in these early
gets the ball back in.
Great ball back in.
Oh, Neely Andrews getting his head in.
And it goes out for another corner at the same side on our right-hand side here, the right-hand side of Thomastown's attack.
Thomastown are going to be delighted with this.
They will, certainly, it must be said. They've started off very well. About 17, 18 minutes gone here at Derdimus Park in the KCLR McCalmont Cup final, brought to you with thanks to Frank Gunsel Properties and Clear Life and Pensions, both on Dean Street, Kilkenny. Living local. Ball comes in again from Delahunty. It's attacked at the far post, but well dealt with by Evergreen. Well, as again, they've defended set pieces well so far. Konopka puts it back in, looks for his number 5. It's headed in. There's going to be
here's another shot out the stone.
Oh, it's just wide of the right.
Oh my God,
post.
Robert skiing.
It was Robert skiing, left-footed shot on the volley. Philly Johnson was at 6s and 7s to see where that was going, and I'm sure he was relieved when he found that it went past his left-hand post. Shane O'Keefe, that was the closest we've come to a goal so far today.
Yeah, it looks like it's all Thomastown now at this stage. Everyone just can't seem to get into the game. What a fantastic strike, especially from a centre-back as well. It's just hit so sweetly on his left-hand side. Just went out, but there was people on the sideline. Paul Dempsey, Thomastown manager, thought it went in. Yeah,
certainly a lot of Thomastown supporters, I think even behind the goal, might have thought it went in, but it just whisked wide of the post as Evergreen goes short with this kick out now. Maybe and they go long again,
which is just playing into it.
It just falls straight to Farron, who can kind of slow the game down, and you presume he'll go long again, even though the option of going out to his right hand fullback.
I seen the call from Aaron Keogh in midfield, just telling Kieran Farron in goal to slow that play down. You'll notice as well that Neil Sherry, when that ball is coming up, he's not standing on Neely Andrews.
No.
He is not standing on, he's standing on Mickey Thomas, who's a fantastic defender in his own right, but Neely Andrews in the air is an absolute beast. So Sherry's taking that ball away from him and not giving that kind of chance for Neely Andrews to be able to come and claim that, because the ball is going straight to Sherry.
Yeah, it's Neely Andrews now. He goes all the way back to his goalkeeper, Philly Johnson, who will probably go long, I would say, with the press on from Thomastown.
No, it's back out to me. Look at that press from Thomastown. It's absolutely dogged.
Yeah, Johnson goes to Hickey.
You have John McCarthy closing it down. That's fantastic.
Closed down by John McCarthy. It does go all the way back to Philly Johnson, but Thomastown will certainly be rather pleased with how they have started this game. They've really got the balance right between dropping off and pressing the Evergreen team as Evergreen come out with the ball again. It is Neil Andrews. They are going to go sharp, but at times
like you're playing across your box as well, you know, because there's nothing in midfield. Decky McCullen now just getting on the ball there. This is where they're dangerous.
Here comes Mark Slater now. He's one-on-one with the Thomastown fullback.
We see Mikey Drennan coming into the back post there as well.
McQuillan puts it in. It's out for a corner for Evergreen, gone right at the near post. Just a little flick there. One of those that you can see skim in sometimes, but it goes well wide, and it will be a corner that McQuillan, who put the cross in that was deflected out for a corner, will whip this corner in for Evergreen. They'll be hoping that they can cause some issues of their own from this corner. Shane, how do you see them attacking corners? We know that you mentioned they're defending them zonally, but they seem to be attacking them with intent also.
Well, it looks like that they're overloading it now towards the back post. Thomastown are going man marking as well. There's a man standing on the keeper. The ball gets whipped in. It goes short.
This was obviously done in training.
That's like a play from Castlewarren. We've tried that a few times. Never worked successfully.
They went short, fell to Mark Slater, but didn't fall perfectly to Slater, and ultimately Thomastown get clear. We can see how deep Thomastown are sitting, just kind of standing on their own.
Literally, all the men are. There's nobody kind of standing on the line waiting for that break either. They're quite happy to be staying frustrated. That ball gets whipped in. Andrew Wall!
But it's offside flag gone up on the far side of the pitch. There was a serious chance there. Was Andrew Wall for Evergreen, as Shane mentioned, the number 9 for Evergreen today. Looked like Evergreen's biggest chance, but ultimately it was offside, so even if it had found the back of the net, it would not have counted. Some pressure that Evergreen really needs to get involved in the game, as we see the teams go for
a water break,
something that we thought was extinct in all sports, but it's back, and I must say they are deserving of it today, Shane, because the conditions are very, very warm.
And you can use this to reset your whole side as well. We've seen this on numerous occasions. We used to use it with Castlewarren, where you kind of have to give someone a kick up the arse, and that's what Evergreen might need. Now, on the other side of things, they might be happy with what's happening. They might be happy that Thomastown seem to be pressing high and expending a lot of energy, and then boom, before you know it, they can come back and hit you, because they're so dangerous. You've seen it with Andrew Wall, albeit he was offside, but you've seen it with there. A little chance. A little chance is all it takes. And it's a very short water break here. We see the Evergreen lads coming back out. They're hungry. They're hungry to get into this game.
Do you think Evergreen will be worried, Shane? Or like you said, do you think they'll just remain patient? The weather today will mean that Thomastown will tire out definitely within the last kind of 15-20 minutes of the game, and then we'll pick them off like we did last year, because ultimately finals, it doesn't matter how much you win them by as long as you win them.
I don't know if they're going to be worried. When you look at it, there's only been one shot really on target.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Philly Johnson kind of pulled off a good save, albeit it has to be said he got the ball away from his body very, very well.
Yeah.
But there's only been one shot on target, so I don't think they're going to be too upset with what's happening.
Worried that they haven't created anything?
That's why I think they're going to be more worried about. They seem to be kicking that ball long quite consistently because it's bypassing the midfield every time. And that's why Mikey's dropping in, because he's trying to get a bit of, or Drennan, that's why he's dropping in, because he's trying to get on the ball and he's trying to create something from the park. So from there, you can suck lads into the game, and then you can pass it out onto the wings and get Slater more involved in the game.
Yeah, here come Evergreen now, playing it out from the back again, a long ball
Thomas
from
to Slater.
Eventually fell to Evergreen. Here comes Slater. Sam Hickey's gone on the overlap on this left-hand side of the pitch.
Decky McQuillan showing now into the middle.
Showing in the middle, to say at least, is the number 8. Here's Gary Keogh, or Craig Wall.
Craig Wall. Oh, he's going long again.
A long ball. It's very strange, Shane. They're within Thomastown's half there. You would say they're on the attack, and it's kind of just an aimless ball that's gone into the arms of Kieran Farron once again. And from the Evergreen point of view, it seems a very strange tactic.
It certainly does. Now, if you're wondering if we're getting all the calls in the game correct, you don't have to wonder, Robbie, because you can be watching this game right now on scoreline.ie with thanks to John Moynihan setting up here, a cameraman. He's following all the action.
Right-hand wing. If you're watching on YouTube, you'll see Evergreen coming down the right-hand wing, but unfortunately that ball goes out of play. Ben Hickey again. He's gone the wing a couple of times, been released by the Evergreen midfielders, but hasn't had the end product so far. You wouldn't doubt him, though. Eventually, you would presume a good cross is going to come into the box. This game, of course, today is brought to you with thanks to Frank Grinsell Properties and Clear Life and Pensions, both on Dean Street, Kilkenny, living local. I think Carlo may have had a positive result.
Could you tell by
Shane's fist bump? He seems delighted there.
There's 10 left in the game. It looks like it's 110 to 1-7 to Carlo in the Tailteann Cup. It'd be devastating if they had no more championship action.
Really would.
You know what I mean? And I really enjoyed it. Maybe the format is a bit weird. That was a handball.
That looked a handball.
That was a handball.
VAR. But he's going to play it. I don't think there is any VAR in today's game.
We have John Moynihan here. He can reverse it and show the ref.
I don't think so, Shane, unfortunately. But if you do want to listen to that Carlo game, it is on the Carlo frequency or on the KCLR app at the moment.
How great is it, though, to be able to commentate on some soccer?
It is very good, Shane, I must say. Good to be out of the studio and at the game today.
For once, I'm actually at a game.
Yeah. There's a reason why we don't bring you. But anyway, we won't go into that as Evergreen come out with the ball with their centre back, Sam Johnston.
Who's going to take it home? Maybe it's going to be Frank Grinsell Properties, our sponsor for today with Clear Life and Pensions, both on Dean Street, Kilkenny, living locally. A big shout out as well to Mark Duffy and all the Duffy clan who are listening in from London. They're telling me to do Smithlands proud. On the Mighty Blues, they said. They're from Thomastown, or living in Thomastown themselves, so they're watching and listening in very keenly with great intent. And the ball gets whipped in, but
again
Farron.
It falls to Farron. Good to hear that you're listening in, and hope you are enjoying our coverage of today's game. It's been a scrappy affair as expected in any final, Shane. Do you expect it to open up anytime soon? Because there has been chances, but not many clear-cut chances for either side.
It'll open up the second someone switches off, because Thomastown and Evergreen both have that kind of clinicalness within them. If one person switches off, that game could go in any direction then.
Yeah, and just as you mentioned, switching off, it looked like Thomastown could be through there, but the ball did not fall to them again, unfortunately.
Declan McQuillan now gets the ball out onto the right wing into Ben Hickey.
Yeah, Ben Hickey goes wide, and it's
the ball in. There's Mikey Drennan chasing down that ball.
That was the one time where you would say the long ball looked like it was going to prove like it was going to actually end up to an Evergreen man in the box. Mikey Drennan made a sprint into the box from deep, but it didn't fall to him. It's gone out for another goal kick. But can you see there maybe the plan of action coming to the fore, Shane, that once you get runners, a long ball will work?
I think what they're trying to do is really stretch Thomastown. That's what they're doing. If Thomastown keep advancing up that pitch, they're going to be in trouble, because Thomastown are pressing like mad jokes. Whereas if that ball goes long, it gives a bit of breathing space as well for the defenders. But it is shocking to see Evergreen do that, because they're so renowned for playing silky, nice football. Maybe there's a bit of apprehension from them. They had that horrible defeat in the LFA Cup to Kilbarrack 5-2. I know they won the Premier Division, but they were really gunning for that. So yeah. I would expect that they were going to come out a bit more kind of guns blazing in this one. But this could be part of their game plan. It's a very legitimate form of soccer. I was talking to John Walsh about it on KCLR Breakfast when Jose Mourinho's Roma, when he was getting absolutely eviscerated by Brian Kerr. defensive football, not that they're necessarily playing, or long ball football or whatever. It's a very legitimate form of football if it works.
Yeah, certainly. I think it is as the throw comes in from Adam Power down the wing. It falls to Konopka. Here comes Thomastown again through their number 8. Number 8, Mark Delahunty, of course, for Thomastown. Begun the ball more than once.
Andrew Wall now takes it in. What a touch.
Good hold-up play from the number 9 there from Evergreen. You can see why Gary Maher loved him so much, but unfortunately he has lost the ball, and Evergreen come out with it again because Thomastown.
It's back at his feet, Decky McQuillan. Now he goes long again. Here's where it could work.
Slater's in behind. He's going to run at the Thomastown number 2.
Mikey Drennan with a fantastic ball in the left foot to the back post.
Attacking the back post. Adam Power puts it out for a corner. You would expect your wingers to get in on that, Shane O'Keefe. That was a big chance for Evergreen there, even though maybe it didn't materialise so much in the end. It looked like a chance where if your winger does attack the back post, there's a tap in there.
It was a sweet strike on the left foot from Mikey Drennan, of course. But Evergreen are getting more into that game. They're getting, just like Thomastown were enjoying some success on the left-hand side, it seems like they're trying to overload the left-hand side Evergreen now. So they're getting a bit more into the game. They'll probably be a bit happier. The water break allowed them to reset for that small bit. Gary Maher gave a few instructions. But now we're here for a corner. It looks like Drennan is standing over
Mikey
it.
Drennan's going to take the corner. Small bit of wind behind him, actually, so he's going to have to whip it out.
Corners to the front post.
Well defended by
Delahunty on the ball.
Falls to Delahunty, and here comes Konopka again. He's
look at
really
that though.
Energetic and involved in the
game.
But
the thing is, Thomastown had no man outside that box.
Yeah,
they had no man standing on the line. Oh, the ball comes to Decky McQuillan.
Into McQuillan after a great ball in from Mikey Drennan. Can they clear it? It's Neil Andrews up the other end of the pitch now. Is the big centre half for Evergreen, but that ball goes out and it will be a throw in the far left-hand corner here at the near side of the pitch at Derdimus Park.
Look at how compact Thomastown are being. Delahunty is standing right on the edge of the D. Sherry's near the edge of the D. He's going in there now. There's going to be no man for the fast break, and what's that's making Evergreen do is they can come up a bit further. You look at Philly Johnson; he's almost like a sweeper keeper now. You know what I mean? It looks like defend and pressing and pressure. There's a goal!
It's a goal! It's a goal for Evergreen, and
Drennan.
It looks like it's Mikey Drennan again, the match winner last year with a penalty at the same side of the pitch. It was a long throw that came in. Neil Andrews flicked it on beautifully towards the Thomastown goal, and it was Mikey Drennan who hit it very sweetly into the bottom corner. No chance for Kieran Farnan. 1-0 to Evergreen in the KCLR McCalmont Cup final. Shane, that was a soft goal from a Thomastown point of view, a set piece.
It looked like Drennan was unmarked for it. Thomastown had everybody back for it. They didn't really have intentions to kind of even break from that if they got it. They wanted to slow down the play, but this is going to be devastating to them. They're going to have to open up a bit more. Not to say that they weren't pressing and they weren't giving it their all. They're going to have to open up a bit more. You can't have 11 lads standing in your own box. And this is what I hate. I hate going long.
Yeah, We've seen it long and it goes straight out for
They go long
for
from a kick out. I probably hate it since Jay Boothright did it for QPR and won Man City the league that season. But I seen it last night as well at the start of the Champions League final where Liverpool immediately went long. Yeah. And it went long and it goes straight into the Real Madrid defence. Now what that allows you to do is it allows you to step up that small bit more and allows you to press and allows your backline to settle, whereas it puts them immediately under pressure. But I hate seeing it. It's like giving possession away in rugby.
Yeah, well, speaking of possession, the ball has gone the whole way up the other end of the pitch and it's going to be another corner. Of course, that goal originally came from a corner from the right-hand side from Mikey Drennan, went the whole way out to the other side of the pitch for a throw, and Neil Andrews flicked it on beautifully for Drennan to finish into the bottom corner. It is 1-0 to Evergreen, and the goal scorer will go across now again to whip this ball in. I'm
surprised Drennan's on the corner kicks now, to be honest, because he has scored very deep.
Andrews again at the far post, and it's another corner. Are you surprised to see someone with a sweet left foot like Mikey Drennan take corners from the right hand side?
It's just that I know that he's very astute when it comes to heading as well. You see, that's the thing. I've seen him score some great goals.
I think he's astute at everything, to say the least.
Good hurler back in his day as well,
he was,
Robbie.
Of course, with James Stevens. Still is a good hurler playing senior hurling with James Stevens, but solely focused on the KCLR McCalmont Cup final now.
We've seen in the Champions League final, you've seen Robertson. He's kind of going for outswingers. Evergreen seems to be going in swingers. There's another goal.
Is it a goal?
It's a goal. It's another one.
It's a really good finish, and it's Mark Slater on the 6-yard box.
Devastating.
Ball came in, and in the space of 2 minutes here, there's 33 minutes gone, and Evergreen are 2-0 up. A corner came in, it fell around the 6-yard box. Thomastown couldn't get it clear, and it was Mark Slater who tapped it in to the left-hand bottom corner. No chance for Farron again. It's Evergreen 2, Thomastown United 0. 33 minutes gone. Shane, a long way back after a promising start from Thomastown.
That is absolutely devastating. Really is. I kind of don't know what to do. The set pieces are Evergreen are obviously obviously so good on set pieces.
Yes.
We've seen Neely Andrews get on the head so many times, but they're 2 soft goals from the set pieces as well.
Goals like that will kill you, Shane. Kill confidence more than anything, wouldn't they?
Yeah, and now Evergreen have a real chance now of going on to score a lot more if Thomastown open up. They were being very, very diligent when it came to the defensive play, closing down, all that, trying to get men in the box for defence. But with 2 goals down, you can't afford to do that.
Yeah, 2 goals down and a free kick in again here for Evergreen. Thomastown
Drennan standing over it again.
Set pieces so far will be Mikey Drennan to whip it in from the right hand side of the pitch, about 15 yards give or take within the Thomastown half. He whips in.
He goes for He goes for goal.
Wow!
Wow!
Straight into Kieran Farron's hand. No one attacked the ball. It was a cross-come shot, I'd say, more than anything there, Shane. I think someone, if they had attacked the near post, could have flicked it on. But Evergreen collect possession again, and Thomastown failing to build on a promising start. It must be said, not able to get on the ball more than anything now, and Evergreen are really asserting their dominance.
Yeah, they won't need to go along really anymore. They might do. There's Mikey Drennan. He's the furthest man back, collecting the ball, and with that sweet left foot once again.
Sam Hickey, the left fullback, making a great run in.
Mickey Thomas though getting his head on it.
Yeah, dealt with well. It must be said from Thomastown point of view, they'll be happy enough now that they have a free out, I believe it is, and Kieran Farron will go across to take it, and he will go long once more. Evergreen, they'll be happy with how it's gone the last 5 minutes, Shane, from 0-0 to 2-0 very, very quickly.
You think?
Yeah, but from a Thomastown perspective, what are you thinking? Get in at half-time 2-0 and reset, or is it about trying to nick one back before half-time?
Like, they were doing everything right beforehand. They were doing everything right. It's just set pieces let them down. And I'm always going on about smelly set pieces because they were a bane of my existence for a long time as a defender. There's Neely Andrews just clearing it up, eating it up. Andrew Wall
looks to take it in. Does Andrew Wall, rather, of course, the number 9 for Evergreen. Craig Wall is the number 6. Sam Hickey collects the ball and they play out
back to Sam Johnson.
Back to Sam Johnson, and it must be said that Evergreen look very, very pleased with their work so far.
Now this is the Evergreen that you know. Look at that passing triangles. You have Craig Wall looking for it, Decky McQuillan, just little short simple passing that's dragging in the Thomastown defence, and then boom, you get out into the wing. There's Neely Andrews taking it forward, charging forward, has lads now just absolutely dying to get on the ball. The confidence, the swagger is in there, and then it's a long ball. Then
Ben Hickey is at the left hand side of the pitch.
It's 3-0.
Put it into the bottom corner. Brilliant finish from Ben Hickey there. Switch of play, went right over the head of the Thomastown fullback Shane Malloy, brother of Ellen Malloy, of course. It fall to Ben Hickey. He kind of collected it with his quad more than anything, fell onto his right foot, and he swept it right across Kieran Farron at the far side of the goal. A really good finish. Again, no chance for Farron at all. And Shane, a long way back for Thomastown, 3-0 now, and Evergreen certainly dominating proceedings.
Look, you're a Liverpool fan. Istanbul. You'll remember that. You won't remember the one last night too much, but you'll remember Istanbul because I'm constantly hearing about it. Look, it can happen. It can happen.
It can happen. But
we went 5-1 up against Brookville in the McCalmont Cup and came back. It was 5-3 in the end, but I was scared. I was scared that it could happen. It's a cup final. Anything could happen, Robbie.
We're talking about Evergreen here. I think. It's not signed, sealed, and
Evergreen
delivered just
Evergreen letting 5 against Kilbarrack.
They did. It must be said. And Thomastown drew 2-2 with Kilbarrack in the last 16.
Brought it to penalties.
Brought it to penalties. Very unfortunate to go out at the hands of Kilbarrack United, who I believe are in the final today of the LFA.
We won't talk about that. We had our hopes pinned on the New Oak Evergreen final.
Here come Evergreen again.
Andrew Wall.
Free
kick, another set piece.
A free kick for Evergreen. And you would presume Mikey Drennan's going to be on this just to the
left
right
foot.
hand
It's perfect
side of the box. It is perfect for Drennan, and he is looking like he is going to set it up here. Right hand side of the pitch, about 23 yards out. Could smell trouble for Thomastown if he connects with this, as you would expect he would, because he has the sweetest left foot in Kilkenny football, it must be said. But Shane, you mentioned Thomastown. There is, of course, a long way to go, and one goal can change the game completely. But
they get a goal before half time now.
Can you see it coming realistically, Shane? I mean, we talked about the start of the game; they were dominating, but since then it's been all Evergreen, and they've turned their dominance into goals. Whereas Thomastown, for all their good play at the start, it still reads 0 on the scoreboard for them.
Well, I can see that Thomastown, even after that second goal, before the third one went in, they weren't pressing as much, Rob.
Yeah, they've dropped off completely.
The heads drop. If the heads drop and you're not pressing as much, this could turn into a cricket score.
Yeah, here comes the free kick now for Evergreen. Sam Hickey stands over, as does Mikey Drennan.
It is a left footer.
It looks like it's going to be Drennan.
It is Drennan. Hits it
off
off the wall.
He disappointed. Comes out with
it's
the
a rebound.
Strike, but it goes way wide. He pulled it rather than kind of connected with it sweetly, as we're so used to when we see Mikey Drennan on a football pitch. Pulled wide, it's out for a goal kick for Thomastown. It is 3-0, and a lot of shouting coming from the Thomastown sideline. It must be said, their manager today, of course, is Paul Dempsey. Their assistant, Tom Buckley, and their medic is Trish Dempsey. with the kit man being James Sinnott, long-term kit man for Thomastown United. It is Evergreen 3.
Here's Sherry. Look, Sherry's looking for the
Sherry
ball
again, but they can't gather possession once more, can Thomastown. But can they win the second ball? No, it is going to be a free out because Craig Wall rather, collected that ball perfectly, and it will be a free out within Evergreen's own half, and they can slow the game down again. 3-0 up in the KCLR McCalmont Cup final are Evergreen, looking for their 5th title in a row, I believe. It is 2017, 2018, 2020, 2019, 2021. Winners looking to put their name on the trophy for an 18-time, a record 18-time, which would be put them 3 ahead of their great rivals, Freebooters.
No copy and paste job on the trophy.
Yeah, looking like there's already a substitute for Thomastown. I believe that's number 14, Andy Kavanagh, coming in there.
Andy Kavanagh, the last ever captain to win the McCalmont Cup with Thomastown, has played a part of many Oscar Traynor teams.
It very nearly found Mikey Dredden. If he had it connected with that ball, there was a serious chance for Evergreen getting the 4th goal of the half and of the game. But Andy Kavanagh, earlier than expected, it must be said, Shane.
It's no surprise.
He's going to have to make an immediate impact,
class,
isn't he?
He's a class player. As I mentioned, Oscar Traynor teams. He's part of those Oscar Traynor teams that got to the finals. Unfortunately for Kilkenny Soccer, lost to Clare and lost to Carlow in those games. I know we're KCLR. It was kind of a bittersweet kind of moment because you're happy that Carlow did, but you're also devastated for everyone that you know in Kilkenny as well. There's Mikey Drennan playing it all back.
He plays it out to Sam Hickey. Kavanagh gets his first touch of the ball after a heavy touch from Hickey, but he can't gather it, and it falls all the way back to the left back.
Delahunty. Now here's the energy that Kavanagh has brought in. He chased the ball down.
Sherry. Header in from Sherry, but he just couldn't connect. Just made it a bit too early. It's a bit too high for him, and drags out to the left hand side of the pitch where Evergreen will look to come out, but it is out for a throw in which the left full back for Thomastown, Adam Power, will take midway between the halfway line and the Evergreen box. Just kind of not too deep in Evergreen territory, but nevertheless Thomastown further up the pitch than they have been for what feels like an eternity. Certainly for the last 10 to 15 minutes, it's been all Evergreen.
What
and
devastating 10 to 15 minutes.
Yeah, certainly. You can see maybe that just a case of a bit more quality in the box, Shane, taking your chances when it comes, whereas Thomastown weren't really able to create any clear-cut goal-scoring opportunities. But as we speak, just before we talk about that, wing again, it's Ben Hickey got the 3rd goal for Evergreen. He switched wings with Mark Slater. He's playing on the left. Slater moved to the right, couldn't keep that ball in. It goes to a goal kick. But like I mentioned there, Shane, is it just a case of far more quality in the other end of the box, really?
Certainly is. And talking about quality, Carlow have bypassed Tipperary, knocked him out of this year's Tailteann Cup with a great result in Netwatch Cullen Park. Final score: 112 to 110.
112 to 110. A brilliant victory for Niall Carew. Congratulations
on the Barrow
to
Siders.
all involved. I must say, we interviewed Dara Foley on Scoreline, didn't we? Or you did, rather, Shane.
I did, and yes.
I think he was looking forward to the Tailteann Cup. So great for Carlow.
It's a real chance of silverware for him.
It certainly is. And speaking of a chance of silverware, Evergreen looking like they could collect a 5th KCLR McCalmont Cup title in a row. Didn't go ahead in 2020, of course, but won it last year with a 1-0 victory over New Park, and they're currently 3-0 up against Thomastown with about 5 minutes of normal time left to go here.
Look, I know it's a bit of a cliche, and you talk about the magic of the cup, but this cup has been going on since 1937, Robbie. Right?
Yeah.
Right. There's been
first winners Bohemians from Dublin.
There's been some fantastic games that people have experienced over here. Cliche as it might be, anything can happen in this game. If Thomastown nick a goal before half-time, or if they nick a goal immediately after half-time, that could turn the game on its head.
But can you see that goal coming, Shane? That's the thing.
Not at the moment, Robbie, but that's the beauty of sport. We couldn't see or imagine in the space of 5 minutes Evergreen being 3-0 up.
True.
Because we're going long ball. Here's another set piece now.
Here's another set piece. Mikey Drennan whips in.
Going to the back post, second time.
Thomastown looked like they can't gather. It was Neil Andrews there, and the number 2 for Evergreen, Tommy Earls, captain, just completely free at the back post. They can't seem to get themselves set for set pieces at all, Shane. And ultimately, you talk about a comeback, but it looks more likely that a 4th is coming for Evergreen than a first for Thomastown.
Yeah, I would agree with that assessment, but I'm hoping that
certainly a long way to go, though.
Certainly a long way to go. Look at the introduction of Andy Kavanagh. He brought energy immediately when he came on. He's a strength and conditioning coach. I know he was there. He played a few pre-season games with Thomastown before he went over to Birmingham. But him immediately coming on now, they're going to try and get that ball and start testing Sam Hickey on the left hand side, because he hasn't really been tested. Yeah, and the first time he did, he was dogged. He ran down with the ball and got a bit of a chance from it. So we'll see what happens. Lots still to play for here.
Yeah, here's a man that's gone out again, Kask Panopka. He plays it inside as Thomastown look to get a bit on the ball.
Oh, beautiful piece of skill from Kerwin.
Has a strike, but he pulls it wide. Does the Thomastown number 9. A good effort from Pádraig Kerwin there, coming up from deep. Dropped a bit deeper, I think, since Andy Kavanagh come on in the whole of midfield role now. more than anything. Looked like a half chance, but really it was never materialised to anything, and it goes out to a goal.
There's
kick,
that short ball again.
Short, but we can see Thomastown are not pressing anymore, Shane. Do you think they're drained of confidence, drained of energy due to the weather?
100%.
Bit of both?
100%. Paul Dempsey isn't really shouting in anything from the line. Now we see kind of Evergreen kind of having a bit more of a swagger about themselves, able to pass it around. Could you imagine in a junior soccer game in Division 2 passing it to your centre back and having that much time?
I can't imagine passing it, Shane. I can't imagine passing it. Get it out the pitch, I think, is a centre back's code when you're talking about junior soccer.
If in doubt, put it out.
Yeah, exactly.
There's Sam
Speaking
Johnson
of putting it out, Sam
it
Johnson just whips it the whole way around the pitch. That ball will probably just trickle out for a goal kick, and it does a bit of a win behind Evergreen. Actually, I think we could see it there. The ball going out.
Are you saying? Are you saying in the next half the win could be the deciding factor, Robbie?
I'm not saying it could be the deciding factor, but hopefully, if Thomastown are probably clinging on to things at this stage. I think they need every little thing to go for them if they are to come back from 3-0 down in this KCLR McCalmont Cup final between Evergreen and Thomastown. With thanks to Frank Grinsell Properties and Clear Life and Pensions, both on Dean Street, Kilkenny, living local. Kieran Farron about to take a goal kick for Thomastown here. We're just about to see half time. It is up in terms of there's about 3 minutes.
That ball straight out to the left onto Andy Kavanagh.
Andy Kavanagh falls to Thomastown. They can't get the ball on the floor. It's a serious issue with them so far as they look to press. Neil Andrews goes all the way back to his goalkeeper Philly Johnson as the number 10 for Thomastown and captain today. Nathan Sherry looks to press. He's been completely devoid of any sort of service since.
Look, Andy Kavanagh again on the ball. They're trying to get him in. He was called the ace in the hole by the chairman of Thomastown when we were speaking to him there yesterday. Paul Doyle said he's our ace in the hole. Yeah, that's what we have. He certainly is.
Oh,
was
there a foul there on the edge of the box on Captain Nathan Sherry? He's looking for.
They looked at the linesman. John Moynihan get VAR there.
Looking for a foul, but not given today by today's officials, whether it be linesman or referee.
He's let the game flow. To be honest, now it's been played with good spirit as well, because there hasn't really been many bad challenges or anything like that. A few kind of offsides or kind of niggles in the back, but other than that, there's been no mad tackles or anything.
Yeah, I think it's been very fair from both sides.
I don't think I've seen a slide tackle in this game.
No, I don't think there has been one sliding tackle in this game. It's been quite free flowing as well. There hasn't been too many stoppages to the game.
Look at Sam Johnson getting chased down by Sherry.
It's fouled by Sherry there. He obviously
was it though? That was a jostle.
I think it was more of a foul. If I'm being honest with you, Shane, I don't think he's complaining too much, but he's
complaining to the ref.
He's looking for that free on the edge of the box, isn't he? But the referee Tristan Early today is giving him absolutely nothing. He's just speaking to him now about that foul. But I do think. Do you think it was a foul?
I think he's explained it quite well. He's keeping quite composed. Many times when you're coming up against the referee, that you'll have tempers that are flaring. You think one thing, they think the other thing. They have to stand by their decision. But the referee there being very composed and explaining why he gave away that free. And that's why I think you need more of it. I think you need respect for the ref, and you need the ref to respect you as well.
Yeah, I think it does go both ways. And most of the time it does go both ways. But when you see it doesn't, I think it's very disappointing whether you're a player or a referee. The ball, another long ball from Evergreen, gone out for a throw. Adam Power, the left full back for Thomastown, will look to go down the line. They need to just get their foot on the ball a bit, Shane. A bit more promising there recently. They're kind of been a bit of pressure applied deep in Evergreen's half, but again, nothing really materialised in terms of clear-cut chances.
Thomastown still have Rory Monks to come on. They still have Stephen Conley. Stephen Conley obviously scored the goal in the semi-final against us.
Yes.
This is a bittersweet game for us, has to be said. But you have Stephen Conley.
Us being Castlewarren Celtic for anyone,
yes.
I'm sure.
So you have Stephen Conley, who scored against us, scored against Shamrock Rovers when Thomastown went up for them. He's on the bench. Now, I know he was an injury worry. He went down in that semi-final game against Castlewarren. But, he's still someone that could... Oh, that was good pressing.
Here he comes. It's Sherry. He finds number 9 for Thomastown, Power Curran. Curran's going to have to put this ball in the box.
Great pressure by Curran. Now,
Evergreen done well. He looks to go back to Andy Kavanagh, but Kavanagh...
That was a real chance, Robbie.
It was a chance. It must be said. It was a 2-on-1 at one stage there, Shane. But again, a bit of hesitancy on the part of Power Curran, unfortunately.
But something like that can change a game for you, Robbie. Right, it didn't go in.
You got to take it, Shane, when it comes.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Yeah, you are feeding off scraps, but you got to make the most of those scraps, and Thomastown haven't done that so far.
And look at Mikey Drennan in that back line again. Because the ball kind of went away from him now up in the top. He's in the back line. He's looking for the ball, and he's looking to start something. He's after getting Sam Hickey now into the game.
Yeah, starting something with that cultured left foot of his. He's been an absolute standout.
Now, here's Andy Kavanagh. What's he going to do? Sherry's playing on the line.
There, unfortunately, could Kavanagh looking to make an impact off that bench. He's coming on the right wing.
Look, Mikey, all over the pitch. He's taking a throw in from left back position.
Sam Hickey making a run forward, the left full back. Mark Slater, again, he switched wings once more with Ben Hickey. He's gone back to the left. Hickey gone to the right hand wing as Evergreen come out with it with their number 6.
The ball's not going over to Kanaka on the left hand side. They got a good bit of joy over there. Everything now seems to be geared towards getting the ball to Andy Kavanagh.
Yeah, and I think when they got it is a throw just as we speak. Slater looking to play a ball in, but unfortunately came back off him following a tackle from the right full back for Thomastown, Shane Malloy, and it will be a throw which Malloy will take, and it'll go straight down the line looking for captain today, Sherry, where number 10 playing up front. Sherry flicks it on, but unfortunately it goes out for a throw, which I'll be disappointed with there. Couldn't keep the ball in play, and it will be thrown.
Sam Johnson Hickey, calling for Evergreen to settle now.
Evergreen will take. Evergreen just looking to get in at half time, I suppose, a 3-0. Do you think Thomastown would almost take 3-0, look to reset, try and get an early goal in the second half?
Do you think Thomastown would take 3-0? No, I think they're going to be devastated.
I think they're going to have to take 3-0 at this stage, though, Shane. That's my point there.
I don't get, but Evergreen. There's the
half-time.
Both
sides will have to take 3-0. It is 3-0 at half-time of the KCLR McCalmont Cup. 2 goals, one from Mikey Drennan, one from Ben Hickey, and another from Mark Slater, means Evergreen will go in at half-time with a 3-goal lead. A long way back for Thomastown, Shane. Any realistic chance? I know that maybe more hope than expectation at this stage for the travelling Thomastown supporters.
A realistic
but do you
chance?
See anything? Have you seen anything in the first half that means that
Istanbul, Robbie?
Into it? I think Istanbul is a bit far-fetched. You're just kind of. I mentioned that the forwards are feeding off scraps for Thomastown. I think you're feeding off scraps there, Shane. No.
Look, Stephen Conley is still to come on. He is a renowned goal scorer. I think they need more than one up top. I think Thomastown needs to start, because like Sherry's putting in the work, he's putting in some mammoth work there. The ball's coming down on Andy Kavanagh. If Andy Kavanagh whips that in, Sherry's up against Sam Johnson and Neely Andrews, right? They need to get someone up there with him and help him. It's not working, whatever's happening. And I think even that's a bit of an injustice, because it was some set pieces that went against them. But they were doing all right in the middle of the park. The ball doesn't seem to be going into the middle of the park, but they were doing all right with their pressing and things like that. If you're starting to press now, because they're going out to Neely Andrews, they're going to Sam Johnson, they're trying some tiki-taka and trying their triangles every now and again, but that ball goes out there, you only have one man there to press.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You need someone up there now to help.
So you think they need to push up the pitch?
I think they need to push up the pitch and bring on another striker. I think formation.
Formation more than personnel, you think? Maybe get Conley on the pitch. Is he fit, though? That is the big question. Today
he's wrapped up. You can see his leg wrapped up. It's a testament to him that he's made himself available for the game. Maybe he's not fit, but if you had a fit Conley, could be like he's on the match sheet for a reason. If you had a fit Conley, throw him up, try 2 men up top, try start pressing Neely Andrews, pressing Sam Johnson. You know that Andy Kavanagh is going to press Sam Hickey, and you know that Konopka is going to press Tommy Earls, the captain of Evergreen. So you know they're going to have to start opening up.
Yeah, we obviously concentrate a lot on Thomastown today because they are coming in as underdogs, and we want to see a really competitive game. I think we have, despite the scoreline so far. But just from Gary Marr's perspective, Evergreen manager, he'll be absolutely delighted that they really made hay when the sun shined there for that 5-minute spell or 10-minute spell when they got 3 goals.
And another one that'll be delighted as well will be Gary Marr. If they get another goal, you're going to have the likes of Grinny getting to come on, who's a fantastic player, David Grinsell. You have Nathan West, another amazing player as well. They have so many great players still to come on as well. Chris Worthy, it's amazing.
Yeah, well, I think the game today certainly has been amazing. Evergreen have put in an amazing performance so far. Thomastown are going to need something similar in the second half if they're to get back into this one in the KCLR McCalmont Cup final. It is Evergreen 3, Thomastown United 0. Today's game is with thanks to Frank Grinsell Properties and Clear Life and Pensions, both on Dean Street, Kilkenny, living local. We'll be back for the second half in about 5 to 10 minutes. It is, as I mentioned, Evergreen 3, Thomastown 0. But until the second half proceedings begin, we'll hand back to Sinead in studio. Sinead, back to you.
to Robbie and Shane for the McCalmont Cup final between Evergreen and Thomastown. Currently it's Evergreen winning 3-0 there in Tenny Park, so looking forward to seeing what's going to happen now in the second half. So going to pass back over now to the boys over in Talmont Park.
KCLR Live Sport.
The KCLR McCalmont Cup Final. Thomastown A versus Evergreen A. With thanks to Fran Grinsell Properties and Clear Life and Pensions. Both on Dean Street, Kilkenny. Living local.
Yeah, thanks very much, Sinead. Welcome back to Derdimus Park here for the KCLR McCalmont Cup final between Evergreen and Thomastown. It is 3-0 to Evergreen at half time as we're just about to begin the second half. Goals from Ben Hickey, Mark Slater and Mikey Drennan giving the Gary Marsh side a 3-0 lead as we're about to begin the second half. Shane, what did Thomastown have to do to get back into this game? Score early, I suppose, is a good start.
Yeah, like score early. That's the only thing they can do. They have to start pressing as a unit as well. You'll see it after the first or second goal. There was only one man maybe pressing and only doing it half-heartedly as well. They're going to have to start pressing as a unit like they did at the start of the game and really put Evergreen under the cosh, because you can see that they can pop shot offs and they can get shot. They've only one shot on target. There's the ball going long again. I hate it. I hate it.
Shane, not a big fan of going long from the tip off, but Evergreen do look to gather possession deep in Thomastown territory, but comes out with Thomastown. They are sticking with that one man up top. It seems like Rory Monks is on, number 15 for Thomastown. Rory Monks is on. Not too sure who has gone out off the area. I'm not
Sherry
sure.
is still on anyway.
Power Kerwin, I believe, number 9 for Thomastown, maybe off the pitch in place of Rory Monks, who's going to start.
It looks like Sherry's gone out into the wing as well.
Sherry's going to go out wide. Monks looking like he's going to start up top on his own. Brings a lot of energy, to say at least, does Rory Monks for Thomastown as a youth player, and now in with the junior side. You'd have to say that he can cause serious issues if they get the ball to feet or in behind. It is a corner for Thomastown, so a good start, a promising start for them. They really do need to take these chances though, Shane, and you know it doesn't say much maybe when you're calling corners chances, but Thomastown, they are not going to get too many clear cut chances. So
but you see, the two Evergreen goals came from chances, or from corners and set pieces.
They did, yes.
You know what I mean? So they'll have to take everything that they can get. This is 100% a legitimate chance if that ball gets on Sherry's head.
Yeah, if the ball gets on Sherry's head, it will be marked.
And they have some big men in there. Mickey Thomas as well.
Yeah, comes in.
There we go.
It was just gone wide, as you mentioned, Shane. It was a great corner from Delahunt. He floated it in rather than whipped it in. It fell to Sherry's head, the captain, number 10, who has moved out onto the wing, but he couldn't nod it on target, and it goes wide of Philly Johnson's post. It will be a goal kick for Evergreen, but that's promising from Thomastown. They need more of that attacking set pieces rather than kind of leaving it to the next man to go and head the ball.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what they need. It would have been great if they even had got it on target, registered another one on target. Philly Johnson, that ball's coming for us.
Philly Johnson heading.
That's the second time he did it. He did that in the warm-up as well.
Philly obviously isn't a big fan of us today.
Do I owe him money or something?
I don't know exactly. You probably
I probably do.
Yeah, but he headed straight towards us here, but luckily enough, no one was injured as Thomas.
This is much better now.
Again, it falls to Johnson, but yeah, good start.
Oh, a little jostle in the back there
from Andy Kavanagh, letting Evergreen players know that they're in a contest, albeit it is 3-0 to Evergreen. This game.
Okay, this is where you start seeing the press now.
Yeah, pressing from Thomastown in the McCalmont Cup final. The McCalmont Cup final, the KCLR McCalmont Cup final, is brought to you with thanks to Fran Grinsell Properties and Clear Life and Pensions, both on Dean Street, Kilkenny. Living local. Evergreen coming out with the ball now. Good hold up play there from the number 9 Wall. Looks to release Sam Hickey down the left, but Hickey can't get that. It runs out of play for a goal kick to Thomastown.
Based on the first half, Robbie, we're picking the man of the match for this. Who would you have given it to?
I'd like to remain impartial as the main commentator here today, Shane, but if I was to pick one, I think Mikey Drennan is a touch above.
Yeah, I was hoping you'd say that, because I'm
related. He's your cousin, isn't he?
Yeah, so I can't pick Mikey.
But I must say I do think Mikey Drennan. There's a lot of good standout players. I think for Thomastown, Casper Konopka down that left wing, particularly at the start of the game, has really stood out, and to get him involved more, along with the substitute Rory Munster in with a chance. But for Evergreen, I think Drennan at the heart of at least 2 of their goals, obviously scoring one himself.
And he's coming so deep.
Different class. He's coming deep, but he's making things happen from deep, Shane. He really is a standout player so far, but a long way to go.
The ref getting involved.
Mark Slater looked to play a pass there, unfortunately off referee Tristan Eardley, who has a drop ball, and Evergreen get going again with Niall Andrews in their own half. They'll look to play out from the back, you would presume. The experienced centre half finds the right full back and captain.
Oh, here we go. Here's Andy Kavanagh now, charging down.
It was a poor pass back.
Now you give that to Sherry. Comes back.
Monks was the pass.
That hesitation.
Well, it's still an attack here for Rory Monks. Gathers possession, looks to gives it back to Casper Konopka. He has.
Here we go.
It just goes wide. Couldn't hit the target with that. Unfortunately, could the left winger for Thomastown, Casper Konopka. But a bit of a bit of kind of taking their foot off the gas there from Evergreen. The poor mistake from captain Tommy Earls, and Thomastown again. We're talking about taking any half chance they get. They couldn't there, unfortunately. Shane, is it important here? As we mentioned, Thomastown going forward, collecting another mistake in the place pass from Evergreen. Thomastown picking up possession now. It's Andy Kavanagh looking to play it over the top of that ball. Looks like it'll just run out. No, it won't. It'll be kept in play by Nathan Sherry. They're looking for a handball, but never really was a handball off Sam Hickey, who comes out with the ball and plays it into Slater. He gives it back to Hickey, who goes long, but his long ball was misplaced and it goes out for a throw midway between the halfway line and the Evergreen box. Shane, half chances again there for Thomastown through Casper Konopka, not taken. They're going to have to take them at some stage to get back into this game.
That slight hesitation there for Andy Kavanagh, instead of charging it down, that's what will kill you against a side as composed as Evergreen can be.
They've had moments more than chances, Shane. For people that obviously aren't viewing the game and listening in, they've had kind of things where you say if they play the final pass they're through on goal, but they failed to play that final pass 2 or 3 times now, and that really is killing them.
Yeah, but look at that. They look at the pressure. This is exactly what they need. The pressure that came there, we seen it just a few seconds ago when Aaron Keogh was closing it down. I know he ended up losing the ball as well, but that's what you need. You need pressure. You need to be putting them under the cosh.
Yeah, they are applying a higher press, it must be said, from the start of this second half than they were particularly in the second quarter of the game. I think Thomastown completely dropped off in Evergreen. Made them pay for it by scoring 3 goals within a 10-minute spell there. It is Thomastown gathering possession now through their centre back.
This is much better play.
Kavanagh playing behind Rory Monks, I believe. It seems to be the 2 substitutions playing kind of up top. You mentioned that they need to go 2 up top. Probably playing the number 10 and the number 9 at the moment. Do you think that's the way they need to go?
They must have been listening to the commentary when they were in there, Robbie.
Yeah, I doubt that somehow. But here come Thomastown again. Through a long ball through Farns. It's placed on Sherry's head despite
boom, that's what you need.
Still the target man. Neil Andrews comes out with it, but a high foot from Rory Monks means it will be a free out for Evergreen. Evergreen 3, Thomastown 0 here at the KCLR McCalmont Cup final in Derdimus Park. A really good crowd for today's game. Beautiful weather, it must be said, always helps with bringing and attracting a very strong crowd. Both clubs, 2 of the biggest clubs in Kilkenny soccer, and they always bring a great travelling support with them. The ball goes long now from that free kick with Evergreen. They go long looking for Ben Hickey, but it's well headed away. Thomastown need to gather possession. Can they gather possession? No, they can't, through their number 8, Mark Delahunty. He wasn't able to get on the ball, unfortunately, but Thomastown do get on the ball again through Casper Konopka down the left wing. He picks up possession. Will he look for Delahunty inside? No, he won't. He's going to look to go over the top to Sherry. Can't find him, and it goes out for a throw because Ben Hickey could not keep that ball in play through, even though he was stretching Wynn's left boot there. Couldn't keep it in play. It is a throw on this near side to Adam Power. Power gives it into Rory Monks. Can he hold it up, make an impact off the bench? He has made some sort of an impact up because he held it up, got his backside into Neil Andrews and wins a freeze. They need a bit more of that, Shane, to really, start dominating further up the pitch.
There's a bit more fight in them, and that's exactly what you need, Robbie. There's a bit more fight in them. They haven't dropped heads. It would have been very easy to come out here 3-0 down second half and have your heads drop. Very easy to do. Credit to Paul Dempsey and his staff, Tom Buckley as well. They must have gotten them up for it, saying that there's something still in this for them.
Yeah, here comes Konopka with the free kick. He hits it again, it goes over the bar. Would he be better placed to just put that ball in the box in the melting pot, Shane, and maybe hopefully it falls to a Thomastown man rather than just a kind of aimless strike that's gone over the bar and another half chance goes a begging?
It's very easy to say that, Robbie, but when you have someone like Neely Andrews and Sam Johnson that are able to scoop up that kind of thing, you know what I mean? It looks like they have. Thomastown do have some big men in the team. We've mentioned Sherry, but you look at their centre backs as well. You look at Robert Skeen. You look at Mickey Thomas. Like, they're able to scoop up ball as well. Yeah. But Neely Andrews can do the work of 2 men when it comes to being there he is again, like getting the head.
Comes in ahead of Rory Monks and wins the header, but the ball does go out for a Thomastown throw. Konopka goes quickly, looking to up the tempo here at Thomastown after a disappointing end to that first half. They are 3-0 behind, looking for a foul on Rory Monks, wasn't given. Evergreen come out with the ball again. It's Mikey Drennan. He can't gather possession rather, and here comes Sherry down the right wing. Needs to make an impact soon due to Thomastown frontman Nathan Sherry, Andrew Kavanagh, and of course Rory Monks off the bench. There are 3 danger men along with Casper Konopka, 4 real dangerous men on the wings and up front for Thomastown, but they need to get them in good possession rather than scrappy long balls, you would have thought.
They need to get stuff on target, at least. They need to start making Philly Johnson work, because he's only had to do 1 save.
Hey, just get up to the pace now, boys. Come on.
He's only had to do 1 save, so like they really need to start making him work.
Yeah, there's another long ball, Shane. I know the plan of attack at the start of the game, I presume, would have been go long, and it'd certainly bear dividends at the start. Looked like there'd be a couple of half chances from going long to Sherry, but do you think now they've got to change their approach? Another long aimless ball falls straight into Philly Johnson. They are 3 goals down. They've got to find a goal from somewhere very soon, you would have thought.
It looks like. There we go. No, it was just I was kind of getting a bit nervous for them there because Evergreen looked to be controlling the ball, and when Decky McQuillan has it on his foot, and then you have Slater on his foot.
Yeah, the ball goes long here again from Thomas.
Here we go. This is what they need. Andy
Kavanagh picks up the second ball. It was well cleared away. Kavanagh finds Casper Konopka. Again, it's one of those passes that's just overrun. Thomastown's still in possession, but
Sherry on that back post. That's what you need.
Look for a header. It's gone a bit to the right and wide from Mark Delahunty. But again, we talk about that final pass chain from Andy Kavanagh there. We know he's a player of supreme talent, but couldn't just play Casper Konopka and pulled it a bit wide, and a good chance probably became a half chance more than anything.
Yeah, well, you have nerves that factor into these things as well. Sometimes when you have the ball at your feet and you know and you can sense that there's a real opportunity for a goal, nerves can come into it. You've seen it with Keita last night when that ball landed. He had about.
That's more than nerves as a Liverpool supporter. That's all I'll say.
But you seen it with Keita last night. He had the ball on the edge of the Real Madrid box. He had loads of time to compose himself, pop off a shot, and then he just went for a first timer. Hoping to get a screamer, and it didn't work out for him. And that's what happens. That's what happens in soccer. What happens in every bit of sport. You have nerves that will come into it as well. You might overplay a pass. You might make the wrong decision. Instead of cutting inside, you go outside, and that allows the whole defence to settle then and be able to go against you. So little things like that. Hopefully you'll be able to come out of the game. Here we go.
It's whipped in from Delahunty, but it's gone to the left and wide.
That was a good ball.
But it's a good ball, Shane, but I must say, it's another chance gone a begging. You know, it's a ball gone in. No one's attacking. The ball goes out for a goal kick, and ultimately everyone has to reset. Thomastown need to score a goal here quite soon if they're to, as you mentioned earlier on, maybe make a miracle of Derdimus Park rather than the miracle of Istanbul.
It is certainly too. Actually, I have to call you back on your comment as well, where you said Evergreen and Thomastown are the two biggest clubs as well.
Two of the biggest clubs.
If I don't mention freebooters, Shawnee Doyle will kill me as well.
Two of the biggest clubs, and I'm sure you're going to mention Castlemore and Celtic.
Oh, well, they're
anyway,
the biggest, yeah.
Yeah, here's Sam Hickey taking a throw for Evergreen.
Oh, handball that was. Andrew Wall.
Handball off Andrew Wall. It wasn't given though. It falls out.
Mikey Drennan. Mikey Drennan's touch now 1 or 2 times has been letting them down.
Yeah,
here we go. Here's Sherry. Charging. Rory Monks needs to be getting in that box.
Pulled a bit wide. Sherry's going to put the ball in the box, but it's well dealt with. Again, only one man in the box there, Shane, when the ball came in, albeit the ball probably just fell.
They probably weren't expecting the break.
Well, you've got to expect a break at this stage, Shane. I mean, they need to get a goal, as I mentioned on countless occasions now. They're 3-0 down. You probably say they're unfortunate to be 3-0 down. I don't think it's a 3-0 game. I think most observers watching the game would probably say Evergreen have been good for a goal or two, but not 3. But as I mentioned there, it's just a foul for Evergreen, and that will be a free kick in for Gary Marr's side. But for Thomastown, it's no good feeling sorry for themselves. They got to get themselves in the box, commit numbers forward, and find a way of scoring. But Mikey Drennan goes long, looking for Andrew Wall, the big number 9 for Evergreen. He'll hold the ball up, but it is a throw in for Evergreen rather. Sam Hickey will go across and take that throw in. But Evergreen, I mean, we're talking about Thomastown a lot because they're the team that need to get into the ascendancy and score at least one goal very soon, you would have thought. But from Evergreen's point of view, they'll be delighted with how they started this second half because they haven't really looked like conceding.
Do you think they'll be delighted though?
I think finals are there to be won. It doesn't matter the scoreline.
I think they're cruising. Yeah. I don't think they're going to be particular. I thought that they might go, you know what, we'll go for the jugular. Not that they haven't already done that, but just to make sure of it. Because
I think if you're 3-0 up in any cup final, I think you would be delighted at whatever stage of the game that may be.
They'll just start naturally cruising. This is kind of the first bit of attack that we've seen for Evergreen in the second half.
It is. That is true, but they don't really need to attack at the moment because they remain pragmatic, and you would see they've sealed this game out. A long throw does come in.
You send Neely Andrews up for a throw-in on the right-hand side. That means you still want to score. That means you still want to attack. They're not sitting back. They have 2 lads in the back.
Yeah, that's very true. The ball goes long, goes over the head of
Look
Evergreen.
at Philly Johnson doing his best Manuel Neuer
Philly
impression.
Johnson comes out.
Someone's car's going to get it.
No, it didn't hit a car, did it? Hopefully not. Hopefully no. We'll know after the game.
I hope it wasn't mine.
It was a long ball from Philly Johnson, went right over the shed here.
He was aiming for us again.
Yeah, aiming for us again, yes. And hopefully it didn't hit a car. If it did hit a car, we'll find out after the game. After a game where we see the scoreline is Evergreen 3, Thomastown United 0. This game, of course, is brought to you with thanks to Frank Grinsell Properties and Clear Life and Pensions, both on Dean Street, Kilkenny.
Here we go.
Local. Here comes Thomastown again.
Rory Monks
finds Rory Monks. It's Casper again, looking to get on it, but it falls to the number 6 for Thomastown. Aaron Keogh snatching is correct. He snatched at that shot, goes well wide of Philly Johnson's post. Another aimless strike that goes wide, and Evergreen will regather possession through a goal kick for Philly Johnson. He goes short, looks to the Evergreen number 5, Mickey Thomas, and they'll look to play out again. Thomastown stopping that press that we've seen early in the first half, and particularly again in the second half, dropping off rather. And that looked like a foul on Sam Hickey from the big Thomastown centre back.
No, it's not. It's a kick out.
Mickey Thomas, of course, plays for Thomastown. Sam Johnson rather was playing out for Evergreen, but it was not a foul there.
Yeah, I got that right in the first half.
By Mickey Thomas, and. It is going to be a goal kick. Tristan Early, the referee for today's game, decided that it was not a foul on Hickey, who had moved up the pitch from that left full back position, something we've seen a lot of in today's game. The ball goes long from the Thomastown goalkeeper Kieran Farr, and he finds Sherry. Sherry looks to flick on. Bit of hesitancy on Casper Konopka's part to go and get the ball, and it just goes into Philly Johnson's hands. Seen a lot of that today from goalkeeper to goalkeeper. Shane, suits Evergreen being 3-0 up, doesn't suit Thomastown. They need to start finding chances.
Yeah, they certainly do. And they were, as we mentioned it there, they were snatching. There's Andy Kavanagh, just been absolutely dogged, getting on the ball on the right-hand side. Every throw-in, if he wins a throw-in here, that has to be chased down and attacked by every single Thomastown player. You need to get a goal to get back in that game. You get a goal, they kind of... Oh, here we go. Here's a run.
Here, aren't they, Evergreen? But it hasn't fallen. It's offside. The linesman on this near side says that Ben Hickey...
Taking that ball quick.
Is offside. Thomastown do go quick, looking for Rory Monks on the far side. Neil Andrews,
through
was
the
that
back.
foul into the back? No, it wasn't. I don't think there's too much complaints from the Thomastown side either. Falls to Mikey Drennan. He's looking to turn onto that left foot of his. He keeps possession. An absolutely classy player, it must be said. Unfortunately for Chris Werty, he couldn't reclaim possession, and Thomastown come
in the back again, possibly.
Thomastown have it, and here they come again. They need to start getting the ball on the floor and creating some chances for that potent strike force that we mentioned. They haven't really had much today, as Sam Hickey gives it back to Philly Johnson. Johnson clears a bit of a miss kick, but it'll fall to Drennan, and look at that for
composure.
A touch. Unbelievable. He really is a cut above the rest, it must be said. An absolutely class player. You can see why he went to Aston Villa as a youth, and of course played for countless League of Ireland clubs, the likes of Shamrock Rovers, St. Pat's, Sligo Rovers, the biggest clubs in the League of Ireland. And Mikey Drennan certainly wasn't out of place when he donned those famous kits. Not out of place today with the Evergreen kit on, and neither are the Evergreen 11.
He's used to it, sir. Shamrock Rovers colours.
Yes, of course, same colours, that famous green and white. 3-0 here to Evergreen, thanks to a Mikey Drennan goal and a Mark Slater and Ben Hickey with strikes also to give them that 3-goal advantage. They kind of, as you said, I think the word that you used, Shane, was cruising. They really are cruising at the moment. Thomastown look more likely to concede a fourth and score a first.
Do you really think so?
I don't think either looks possible at the moment, but I do think if someone was to score, you would fancy Evergreen.
I think we seen it similar as in the first half, a bit of a surge from Thomastown, a bit of a belief that they're going to be able to put Evergreen under pressure, and Evergreen just soaking it up. Evergreen just soaking it up completely, and from there then they just caught Thomastown on the break. That's very possible what could happen, but Thomastown need to take that risk.
They do.
They need to start throwing people up.
They need to take risk at some stage, don't they? They need to probably go a bit further, push maybe 5-10 yards up the pitch and try.
No, they're doing it now.
Pressure.
They're doing it now. In fairness, now
here's
Rory Monks. Gets that ball in on Sherry. Oh,
again, it's Neil
Andrews.
Brilliant header.
He must have a magnet on his head and stealing the ball.
He just attacks every ball, whether it be in the opposition box as he set up Mikey Drennan for that first goal. Back in long, a bit of a mess there from Philly Johnson. He came out and collected, but it was punched away. Here's another
cross in. Rory Monks!
Andy Kavanagh. It was an unbelievable cross in from Rory Monks, I believe it was, the substitute on that side of the pitch. Whipped in with his weaker left foot. He found the head of another substitute, Andy Kavanagh, who came on after about half an hour of today's game, but Andy could not connect with it perfectly, and it went out for a goal kick to Evergreen. That was the best chance of the game, really, for Thomastown, wasn't it, Shane?
If it just had come onto his head that small bit more sweeter, what a fantastic cross it was in. But if it had just come a bit sweeter, this would have turned the whole atmosphere of the game. It would have given Thomastown belief. It would have gone, you know what, because we're pressing, it's going to happen for us. We got one goal, we could get a second goal. Now, on the other side of things, they missed that one, fair enough, but that could give them belief as well. Substitution, Andrew Wall coming off.
Yeah, Andrew Wall, the big number 9 for Evergreen, had a brilliant game, it must be said, holding the ball up. Looks like a bit more of a defensive sub for Evergreen. It is their number 13 that is coming on, Damien Kelly. He's going to play in the holding midfield role. Look like they're maybe going to move to a 4-2-3-1 rather than that 4-2-3 that has caused issues for Thomastown. As we speak, Neil Andrews heads the ball back to Philly Johnson, and Evergreen come out with the ball again through their captain for today, Tommy Earls. It was a high press there from Thomastown. Earls was nipped in, but it goes out for a throw in, which Tommy Earls will take himself. Looking for Mark Slater here. He looked to gather possession, but he couldn't get in to his feet, and that looks like it's going to go out for, I think, a goal kick at the far side of the pitch. It's going to be a corner, rather. It must have took a deflection off one of the Evergreen players there. It looked like it was going to be a goal kick, but it is a corner for Thomastown. They really do need to find a goal from somewhere, Shane. This is probably their best route through a set piece.
It certainly is, and the way they are going zonal, that should have been picked up on. They're going to go short, are they?
It looks like
never.
They're going to go short.
No, you get that ball in there.
You get the ball in the box.
Like you, Sherry, standing on that back post. Go deep.
It's headed away again. I think that was Mikey Drennan who went and attacked the ball. Brilliant defending, and that has been the difference, you have to say, for all of Evergreen's good play and Thomastown's lack of finishing. It's been in the boxes and set pieces that has really been the main issue for Thomastown, and the main reason why Evergreen hold a 3-goal lead.
You look at Evergreen and you look at the facilities that they have. You look at how many people are invested in that club. They have 4 junior teams. It's amazing what they've been able to accomplish. They've been able to get, there's a ball right into the box.
Ball into the box. Neil Andrews again.
It's amazing what they've been able to accomplish, and you can see the success that they've, after having in the past few years, come to fruition now. And it's kind of hard to imagine anybody really stopping them over the next few years with the side that they have out there.
Oh, it's a big chance. Andy Kavanagh at the near post with a beautiful flick.
Gianfranco Zola-esque.
And there's a brilliant save from Philly Johnson. Philly Johnson's best save of the game, and probably the closest Thomastown will come to scoring a goal. Andy Kavanagh causing a couple of issues. They really need to find him in the box, because he looks like he has the best chance of scoring a goal for Thomastown and finding a way back into this game.
It's understandable why he didn't start the game, because he's just after coming back from pre-season. You have lads that are training every week in, week out to try and get on that team. But at the same time, you have that conundrum where you're like, he is such a good player, and fair enough, he came onto it in the first half. But like, when you have someone of that quality, do you start him?
Yeah.
Do you start him from
the
the off?
That is the question. It's a tough question. For the manager for Thomastown today, Paul Dempsey. He didn't start him. He's brought him on at 3-0 down.
And things like that they'll keep you up at night, like thinking about that, thinking about the squad, thinking about letting lads down, because there's such a personal relationship between a manager and his side, especially at junior soccer as well. You're all friends.
Yeah, for such an occasion, it's such a tough decision.
Like Paul Dempsey used to play in this side, you know what I mean? So it's very difficult, but at the same time, Andrew Kavanagh has caused a lot of problems since he's come on, and you've kind of be going, should I have started? And they're the questions that Paul Dempsey's going to be asking himself.
Yeah, but it must be said.
He came on at 3-0 down, wasn't it?
3-0 down. He came on almost immediately after that third goal from Ben Hickey, looking to change the game. He has changed the game somewhat, but ultimately they haven't found a way to get that first goal that you just think, if they're speaking of first goal, it goes long to Monks, but again it just goes into Philly Johnson. Failed to find Rory Monks, who hasn't made an awful impact, who hasn't made much of an impact in this game.
He got that cross in, though.
He put in a good cross, but almost not his fault that he's not
that's
making
great.
an impact.
That's
good
great.
Interception there. Thomastown looking to be on the ascendancy.
Robert Skeen, just brilliant.
Robert Skeen, the centre back, number 4, coming forward, but again,
not so brilliant.
The ball, not so brilliant. Is right. Couldn't find Andy Kavanagh, and Evergreen come out with it through Mikey Drennan and Decky McQuillan.
Decky's having a very understated but good game. His role that he's playing is just brilliant. He's getting the ball and he's releasing it very, very quickly.
Just as you speak,
as I said, that
the commentators curse Decky McQuillan. Looks to control the ball and rolls right under his heel and out for a throw-in.
Don't put that in the replay, John Noyne.
Yeah, right, Shane. I think he has kind of just kept that ball ticking for Evergreen. He's been really important in helping the attack function, hasn't he?
Yeah, and he's not getting overzealous. He's not, because you see that sometimes midfielders, they want to be strikers. But Mikey Drennan, a striker, he's wanting to be a defender, he's wanting to be a midfielder, but Decky McQuillan is just being a midfielder.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's really nice to see him just taking the ball, releasing it when he can, and getting on the ball.
Yeah, Ben Hickey finds Mikey Drennan at that far side of the pitch on the left wing.
Where is he
everywhere
playing?
Today, and he's gone straight back to Hickey. Hickey looking to gather possession. He's just on his own box. Falls out to the captain, Tommy Earls, and you can see why he is playing in the backs with that strike. Left-footed volley that went way over the top into anyone that's familiar with the surroundings here at Derdimus Park, into the AstroTurf, where there are a whole host of kids playing today, and that was a disappointing effort from the captain of Evergreen, Tommy Earls. But he won't be too disappointed if he's lifting the McCalmont Cup. Yeah, left foot must be said. All right, we have to let him off with that one. Well, it was a tough one, it must be said. It came back to him on the volley, and I think if a top striker put that in the back of the net, you'd say it was a goal of the season contender, but not to be for Tommy Earls. It goes long through Kieran Farron, who takes the goal kick, goes straight to Ben Hickey. Hickey finds Mark Slater, who seems to be playing through the middle now since Brimwall came off. Here comes Ben Hickey again.
Very well defended
there by
Skeen.
Skeen's playing very well for Thomastown, it must be said. It's just been those set pieces that have let them down. 3-0 to Evergreen in the KCLR McCalmont.
Andy Kavanagh on the ball again.
KCLR McCalmont
Out to Delahunty. Delahunty taking it in.
Yeah, here come Thomastown again, looking to play
Releasing the
some
ball.
patterns of play. Here find Delahunty, number 8. He's been everywhere too, it must be said.
He's been good.
Yeah, he has been very good. You mentioned the number 8 for Evergreen, Declan McQuillan. He's kept the ball ticking for Evergreen, but Delahunty likewise has kept the ball ticking for Thomastown in that midfield. They just haven't been able to find that final pass to break the defensive line of Evergreen, as Mikey Drennan comes in with a hard tackle looking to win the ball. Ball goes long, Skeen deals with it well. Mark Slater didn't contest that one because he knew Skeen would head it out for a throw, and that's what he did as Tommy Earls gets prepared to take this throw. There is about little over 15 minutes, probably 20 minutes gone in the second half. We mentioned Thomastown needed an early goal, Shane. It is 3-0 to Evergreen, obviously.
We're getting the eyes for Konopka there a second ago.
Yes. Are we getting to the stage where they're going to have to just start throwing bodies, seriously throwing them forward rather than kind of...
We were at that stage
still being
at the start of the
hesitant?
second half. Look, Thomastown have been doing quite well. Here's
Yeah,
another
over
great
the
ball
top
to
for
Rory Monks.
Can Monks get it? No,
But
he
look at
can't.
Sammy Johnson, just there.
Brilliantly defended. Those two centre-backs, Sammy Johnson and Neely Andrews.
He's seen
for
Neely
Evergreen.
Andrews was in a bit of trouble and he was able to cover immediately. That is some partnership that those two guys have back there.
Yeah, it must be said. Neil Andrews,
Look,
just before that,
Declan
here
McQuillan just
comes
shaking
Declan
off a
McQuillan
challenge.
coming forward. That is a foul though on McQuillan. The advantage proceeded for no advantage really for Evergreen in the end. So Tristan Early, today's referee, has done a fine job, I must say. Comes back and gives a free kick for Evergreen. But going back to those centre backs pairings, obviously the 3 goals for Evergreen are the reason they're winning, but they're also keeping a clean sheet. They've only conceded 1 goal en route to the final.
There's only been 2 shots on target here.
Yeah, only 2 shots on target. That centre back pairing really has been so crucial in their run to the final, but and obviously lifting the Premier Division also.
Yeah, certainly. You can see they're 2 stalwarts of the game. Neely Andrews is one of the most composed men you'll ever see on the ball. Now
It comes looking for
goes.
Andrews, but it's well defended. But it's a free out. Tristan Early, the referee, seen a foul there, and it will be a free out for Thomastown. That free kick coming to nothing, unfortunately, for Evergreen. Evergreen. We mentioned Evergreen's route to the final. Thomastown's route to the final we didn't mention as much. A bit more kind of adverse, a bit more danger in it. The defeated Spa United 3-0 away from home before going on to defeat Evergreen C 1-0 in a tight game. 2-1 against Fort Rangers in the quarter final. And
Don't say it.
At Derdimus
Don't
Park,
say it.
1-0 victors against Castlemore and Celtic.
You know what it's like? It's like having a girlfriend who starts dating your father and you have to go to the wedding. That's what me being at this game is like.
Beautifully said, Shane.
telling you,
Beautifully said as
telling you.
always. There's a reason why you're in the studio most weekends, not on the
It's
commentary box.
heartbreaking.
It is hard
But
to look at. But
we were talking off air, and when we were
do we
going
talk off air? Do we?
Yes, but when we were going up against Thomastown and ultimately we lost 1-0, we knew that they were going to have to raise their game.
Yeah.
Thomastown are different than what they were on that day.
Yeah.
They don't seem as sluggish. Maybe they kind of relished the fact that they weren't underdogs in that game, or they relish the fact that they're underdogs here.
Yes.
Maybe, you know what I mean, because they're playing a bit more of a press, in fact. But I like they're playing a better game than they were then, and they came away with the win. So you'd be quite. It's a weird game, isn't it?
It is a strange game. Casper Knop coming forward with the ball, but just let this attack play out. It was
That's
a
a
foul
free.
on
Here's a
Knop, so
chance.
it's going to be a free, and you'd have to say it's a very similar position to the one where I mentioned that maybe you should have put the ball in the box rather than shoot. It'll be interesting to see what he does with this one. But one thing I've noticed there on the attack, Shane, there was only 3 or 4 men in the opposition half, and Thomastown had 3-0 down. We said they needed a goal. A result earlier in the season, albeit Thomastown were devoid of a lot of players in that game, was 9-1 against Evergreen out in the Evergreen AstroTurf. Beautiful facilities out in the Kells Road.
You look over at that bench now, and there's someone taping up his leg. Is that Stephen Conley?
It may
The
well
goal
be
scorer.
Stephen Conley, the goal scorer. But just as I mentioned that 9-1, do you think that's in the back of their mind, Shane, that they don't want to be on the wrong side of another heavy defeat on what is obviously a monumental occasion to be in the McCalmont Cup final, their first since 2016?
Robbie, 1-0, 6-0, 7-0, doesn't matter, you still lose. You still have to go for it.
True. Here comes Kasper Ganopka. He's going to go for it straight into the wall this time. It is one of them, about 25 yards out left to goal. You would say he probably is right to have a shot, but considering the circumstances, maybe getting it into the box would be more useful for Thomastown at this stage of the game. About 20 minutes remaining of normal time, I would say, here at Derdimus Park. It is Evergreen
Andy Kavanagh
3,
just chasing that
Thomastown
ball
0.
down, but look
ball
at Mikey
goes
Drennan, that is
into Mikey
dangerous.
Drennan gathers the ball on his left foot, goes back to Neil Andrews. His composure is second to none on the pitch today. The KCLR McCalmont Cup final, of course, is brought to you with thanks to Friend Grinsell Properties and Clear Life and Pensions, both on Dean Street, Kilkenny, living local. It is Evergreen 3, Thomastown United 0. at Derdimus Park. You're here with myself, Robbie Dowling, and Shane O'Keefe on commentary for today's KCLR McCalmont Cup final. It's been an interesting game, as you said, a strange game, I think is probably the best way to describe it, Shane.
There's Nathan Sherry on the ball now.
Nathan Sherry, was he fouled there? Thomastown looking for a foul, but they won't mind because they do
chance.
come forward. They've got to get the ball in the box again. It goes in, and that's going to just go out for a goal kick, I would have thought, unless Casper can keep it in. He couldn't. It just fell out for a goal kick, and it will be an easy enough clearance for Philly Johnson. A strange game, Shane. I suppose Thomastown will be hoping that there's a strange ending to it. Yeah, well, we mentioned Evergreen are cruising. You know that there's a lot of lads still trying. Is that Mikey Drennan going off? Mikey Drennan looks like he is coming off. Yeah, that
or is he directing? No,
he's going over to tell Gary Maher what to do, and I think he's well within his right the way he's played
Mbappe,
today.
Is it?
Yeah, something like that. I'm not too sure.
There's two substitutions. It looks like from Evergreen coming on.
Yeah, it looks like there is two subs for Evergreen. They've obviously already made one. Number 13, Damien Kelly, came on further. Big number 9.
Number 6 is
Andrew
Craig Wall gone,
and it is number 6, Craig Wall. Who looks like he is coming off. Is it number 16, Lee Delaney, coming on in the centre of that park? Not too sure yet. I believe it is Lee Delaney coming on in the middle of the field. He'll join his substitution, number Damien Kelly, in the midfield. They're playing a 4-2-3-1 now. You can see it. Delaney and, of course, Kelly in the midfield, with Mikey Drennan playing behind Mark Slater, who's moved from the wing to
Mikey Drennan's playing right back, he's playing left back.
He's playing everywhere. Free roll, as they say.
He might put the gloves on him as well.
Goes on. Can Mark Slater keep it in? He can't, unfortunately, for Evergreen. It will be a throw with Adam Power going down the line, but due to protestations, it'll go back.
Getting a bit overzealous there.
Yeah, getting a bit overzealous, it must be said. Adam Power will take the throw again. He goes down the line.
There's Sherry.
Sherry flicks it on. He's been a danger man all day, it must be said. And it's going to be a corner for Thomastown. Can they find a route back into this game?
I hope for the sake of our commentary there's another goal anyway.
Yeah, the second half has been a bit devoid of serious
action. It's been
action.
all Thomastown, really.
It has been Thomastown, but they've not really created too many clear goal scoring opportunities. Is that fair to say, Shane?
Here's a goal scoring opportunity. That ball goes.
We're
looking for a little
scissors
scissors kick
to the far post for Adam Power.
Here's the enter.
But it wasn't to be. And
there's
here's a counter attack, and Evergreen are throwing numbers forward here on the right hand side of the pitch if they can find them, but they can't, unfortunately. It was a miss hit from I believe it was Sammy Johnson coming up the pitch there.
That was near a 4-on-2 at that stage.
Yeah, it nearly was on this right hand side of the pitch. They had a clear overload, couldn't find them, throwing on the far side of the pitch for Thomastown. There is a substitution coming on for Thomastown now, the 2016 winners, of course. It is number 10, Nathan Sherry, coming off, the captain.
Bit of a shocker.
He is coming off a bit of a surprising decision. Can't see who has come on for him as of now, but as soon as we know, we will, of course, let you know. It is Evergreen 3, Thomastown United 0. Evergreen,
they're making a sub as well.
They are making a sub. Who's coming on? Do you know who's
coming
on there?
Decky McQuillan is coming off anyway. I can confirm that.
Yeah, Decky McQuillan is coming off. He said he had a good game. He had a very, very good game. And it is number 15, David Grinsell. Grinny, as he's commonly known as, is coming on up top for Evergreen.
David Grinsell is an unbelievable footballer.
Very,
it has
very
to be
good
said.
player. It must be said. Their bench. It could nearly make a Premier Division side itself, couldn't it?
Will he be? Oh, here we have Slater charging down, well defended.
Here come Evergreen. They're looking to put the ball in the box. Can they get it in? No, it's a poor cross, and it is easily dealt with by Skell at the back skiing at the back for Thomastown. Here comes
Hickey
Sam
doing
Hickey
well,
collecting the
defending
ball.
that ball.
Here come Evergreen again.
Here's Kelly's going to play it out right.
It is their captain, Tommy Earls. Tommy Earls is going to whip it in. I would have thought no. He goes down the line rather and finds Ben Hickey's brother of Sam Hickey playing at left back today. A family affair for the Hickeys and Evergreen today. It is a corner after that cross from Ben Hickey was deflected out of play for a corner ball, and it will be, I believe, Mikey Drennan that'll go across to take this corner. First corner of the second half for Evergreen, I believe, Shane.
Yeah, I know, but I'd be very, very upset if I was Thomastown, and very wary because of the power that they have from the set piece. The man marking thing and the zonal marking that Evergreen seem to be doing, there's quite a stark contrast in how that's all coming out, really, because Evergreen can seem to defend it very well, obviously work on it quite a bit, but the man marking, there's something to be said for it.
Yeah,
that
whipped in
look,
there's
Nearly
Andrews at the far post, and really it was a sitter. Shane, you're pointed here, very animated. What did you make of that corner? Should have finished it.
How many times has Nearly Andrew been left on the back post? How many times we've seen it? At least twice in the first half, and then there. If you're man marking, and he's the man that has a magnet to his head, because the ball, he's able to just head everything, and he's free 3 times on the back post, something has to be done.
Yeah, we've mentioned in open play Thomastown have been very solid, but ultimately when you're the underdogs in the game, you expect that
again.
Set pieces, you can defend them. Shane, how disappointed will they be with the way they've defended set pieces today?
I think it's the worst way to give away
a goal. It's
so
frustrating, isn't it?
It's so frustrating to give away a goal because it can so easily be avoided. just from good organisational skills or picking up the danger man, so stuff like that. Now, obviously, every now and again you're going to get some quality goals. But I don't think that you would regard the Evergreen goals now as quality goals. Every goal matters, every goal counts, but I don't think that the 2 set-piece goals were quality goals.
Yeah, the 2 set-piece goals in general were just scrappy balls that fell to the Evergreen man in the box, and they finished them with aplomb. But Thomastown will, as we say, be very disappointed with that. It is a throw-in for Evergreen here. The intensity in the game has really gone out of it, must be said. Evergreen kind of cruising to victory at the moment because Thomastown looked like a team that cannot create chances, let alone find the back of the net. Here's Rory Monks. So can he turn in something? A bit of magic is what Thomastown need. They need something from nowhere, you would have to say, because it really doesn't look too much like they can get a goal back. But here's hoping that they can make a game of it, proceeding into the last 15 minutes of this game. It is Evergreen 3, Thomastown 0 in the KCLR McCalmont Cup final. Today's game, of course, is brought to you with thanks to Frank Grinsell Properties and Clear Life and Pensions, both on Dean Street, Kilkenny, living local. Evergreen coming forward with the ball again now. Thomastown in shape, not pressing. Do you think they feel like the game's up, Shane, or do you think there's still a bit of hope there for them?
Definitely. I think it's going to be devastating for them, especially as Evergreen have really kind of evolved into the second half in the past 10 minutes. The play has opened up a bit more because they aren't being charged down quite as much. They really needed a goal early on. Didn't get it. They need something. They need some type of thing to get them going because they just seem a bit flat. Now, if Neely Andrews, because that ball is going to try and get to him. Now, if he's on his own on the back post, you haven't learned anything.
Yeah, we're going to see how this corner plays out now. Mikey Drennan is going to whip it in again. Such a danger with that left foot of his in-swinging ball again. It is nearly found Neil Andrews, but well dealt with by Sken, the Thomastown centre-back, and they look to come out with the ball. It is cleared long. It looks to be taken down. It's a beautiful touch
by
the
that
Evergreen
skill.
Substitution, Damien Kelly. He goes all the way back to Philly Johnson, and Evergreen again. I mean, you look at that, Shane. There's no press. There's 5 men inside the half for Thomastown.
Look at Sam Johnson, where he was more animated trying to get out, so giving Philly Johnson the option to give it to him than anybody kind of chasing him down. He knows what he has to do. It's drilled into him in training. That's just training going, I need to create an avenue for my goalkeeper to pass in instead of going long.
Speaking of training, Shane, I suppose set pieces are really where you attack offensively and defensively. You get your set piece training in. Thomastown will be disappointed with that. As we speak, they are bringing on the substitution, but I suppose when the tale of this game is told, it'll be about the set pieces, and they've defended them so poorly, which is a bit of a surprise when you consider most underdogs would say that's their best avenue to scoring a goal, let alone conceding. Is woefully disappointing for their management team, spearheaded by Paul Dempsey.
Jack O'Byrne is on for Delahunty as well. I think Delahunty can hold his head up a bit high after that, and I think that Thomastown can hold their head up high after this game. Just a really, really bad, dogged 5 minutes of madness, really.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The set pieces that you mentioned there, working on them and all that kind of stuff. You know, those 2 goals, very, very soft. Now, albeit the third one was very, very good.
Yeah, well taken by Ben Hickey.
Yeah, very well taken. But I don't think Thomastown can be too upset with the way they performed. In certain aspects, you know, where
they'll probably come off the pitch, Shane, sorry for interrupting, wondering how it's 3-0. I think.
Yeah.
Is that fair to say?
They would have walked into the dressing room wondering why it's 3-0.
It's been one of those games where you would say it's probably a 1 or 2 goal game maximum, because Thomastown, while they haven't maybe had much of a threat offensively, defensively they've been very solid from open play, and again those set pieces, to have an Achilles heel like that is just going to kill you at this level.
There's another ball in.
Set piece, Neil Andrews, and as we mentioned with the set pieces, it nearly found the back of the net. Neil Andrews with a strike, a brilliant save, it must be said,
he's free
by
again.
The Thomastown goalkeeper Kieran Farnan, and Shane O'Keefe is completely stunned at what he's looking at here. Good strike from Farnan, hit back off the Thomastown player and just went out of play for another corner. Shane, you're stunned. You can't believe what you're looking at.
Well, no, I can't believe it, because Neil Andrews is so good.
Yeah,
like, you know, a little turn and he breaks away from his man. He's going to be a terrible man to mark. As I said, the ball is just being directed towards him on every set piece. Now here's another corner. It's going to try and get to him as well. Look at the way he's trying to break away, and then look, you see,
it's in again. It's 4-0. It's another set piece. It is from the substitute. It was a flick on at the front post by Mark Slater, and it was David Grinsell with another header. It is Evergreen 4, Thomastown United 0 in the KCLR McCalmont Cup final, and that really is that. Shane, set pieces again. I mean, we've mentioned it all game, and they've come to the fore for Evergreen. 4-0. Grinsell with the header there, poorly defended, it must be said, and they got their warning immediately before that with the chance for Neil Andrews.
Yeah, we seen Robert Skeen, who was marking him, and then as the corner was being taken, Neely Andrews went, and that left Skean with a decision. Do I go to Grinsell because he was free, or do I let it go to Neely Andrews? And then it ended up at Grinsell's head, and it's 4-0. So it looks like Evergreen are going to be taking it home, and you can take it home with Fran Grinsell Properties and Clear Life and Pensions, both on Dean Street, Kilkenny, living locally. David Grinsell and Fran Grinsell, do you know they're related?
Are they related?
Yeah, certainly are.
I know Fran is a big connection
Father,
with New
yeah.
Park. Father, there you go. Now I know Fran is a big connection with local soccer in Kilkenny, and great to see him sponsoring today's game.
Big part of Freebooters when my time there as well, helped us get over to Sheffield when we went over to Sheffield Wednesday.
Very nice to hear.
Yeah.
That's great to hear, and great to have Fran Grinsell Properties
Supporting
and Clear Life
local
Pensions supporting local soccer today. The two local businesses used to support local business too, of course. Here come Thomastown out with the ball. Casper Konopka looks to pick it up. The game is all done. He's done a little roulette there, deep in his own half. And
Grinny didn't like it.
Grinny did not like it, and he came in and absolutely clattered him. Fairly though, it must be said, because it is a throw with Adam Power down in the left fullback position. He'll look to throw it down the line. Thomastown now know that the game really is up. It is 4-0 to Evergreen. It's out for another throw on this near side here. Adam Power will take it again, but I mean, Thomastown, as we said, Shane, they'll be so disappointed that how it's 4-0. They'll wonder, but set pieces, they're going to kill you at this level.
We'll have Konopka now there telling I want to come off. He's limping. Yeah. And then we have Evergreen making 2 substitutions as well. Do Thomastown have the subs on the bench? I think they do.
Another 2 subs for Evergreen. I think Thomastown should have another substitution, but no one seems to be getting ready to come on there. Konopka looks like he's going to have to continue for the moment. He's limping very, very heavily. Number 7 for Evergreen, the goal scorer of the 3rd goal today, and the goal that really did clinch it, I'd have to say, and probably left the game beyond all doubt. Ben Hickey is coming off the pitch.
So
Likewise is Mark Slater. He got the 2nd goal today, rather, from a set piece. Mikey Drennan with the 1st for Evergreen. He's coming off the pitch too, and there are 2 substitutions coming on for Evergreen.
Jamie Owens,
Jamie Owens is on in the middle of the pitch. He's on in the middle of the pitch for them. And is it Chris Worthy coming on, Shane, number 17?
I can't see. You're the man with the glasses.
I can't see the numbers on the back at the moment. So as soon as we know, we will let you know. Coming up to a rapturous reception are both those players, both on the score sheet. It is Evergreen 4, Thomastown United 0 at the KCLR McCalmont Cup final here in Derdimus Park. A largely one-sided affair. It must be said, Thomastown will be very disappointed with the performance. Of course, this could be a repeat of the Divisional Cup.
Well, I don't know if they will be disappointed with their their performance, because they did well. They did well in the game, but unfortunate for them, their set pieces just wasn't good enough, Robbie. And you're going to get punished when you go up against a side like Evergreen when it comes to set pieces if you're not that diligent and you're not marking your man and you're allowing people like Neely Andrews to get free from the back post.
Yeah, it was Jamie Owens and Dylan Hunston who came on, not Chris Weirty there for Evergreen, and it is Hunston chasing down the line now, and he gathers possession on that left wing. He's looking like he's going to want to take him on. Rather than that, he does go back. He actually goes forward because he's beaten his man Malloy, the right back for Thomastown, a brother of Ellen Malloy, of course, whose exploits with the Irish national team and Wexford youth has been absolutely incredible, and an incredible performance by Evergreen today. They'll be delighted with how it has gone. A lot of subs made. Always good to see the subs getting the game time when given the chance. It wasn't like this last year, but when you're 4-0 up, you can always unload the bench, Shane. And what a strong bench Evergreen have. They
certainly do, and they're like lads like Nathan West not even getting a look in, but a fantastic player. Anthony Mulvihill, he's not getting a look in as well. And you get disappointed when these things kind of happen. But at the same time, you can only bring on 5 lads. You're part of a squad, and you're every much as part of this victory as the lads out onto the pitch.
Yeah, that's what Gary Maher will be saying after the game. And of course, it does ring home, and it is very true that it is a squad game. And I'm sure a lot of these players that maybe didn't even get on the pitch next week could be game changers in the Divisional Cup semi-final on Thursday when they take on Bridge United. That game will be out in Goresbridge at 7 o'clock. The winners will take on Thomastown, who look like they're going to be the beaten finalists at the KCLR McCalmont Cup for 2022. 4-0 down to Evergreen. It could be a repeat of the Divisional Cup for the Divisional Cup final of this game if Evergreen do get the better of Bridge United. If it is to be Evergreen and Thomastown, what are Thomastown going to have to look at heading into that game? Because of course picking up any sort of silverware means that what could be a mediocre season becomes a successful one.
Well, they're going to be absolutely devastated by this, right? And they're going to be devastated by the Pat Marshall result. They lost 3-2 there. They were 2-0 up, right?
In the final to
Freebooters. Right? They've lost this now to Evergreen. They're in the Mocklawler Cup final. I don't know what you tell them. This is your last chance. It's your last chance of silverware this season. You came third in the Premier Division. This is your last chance of silverware. You go out there and you make sure that everyone presses as a unit. You don't have one individual pressing. Everybody has to press, because sometimes we've seen other lads stand off. When say Andy Kavanagh might be pressing, or when Nathan Sherry was pressing, other lads mightn't have been pressing as much. Going through moments of indecisiveness from themselves. You just have to be sure. And also, you have to defend those set pieces.
Yeah, set pieces are, of course, a key part of the game. Not too long left to go, just about 5 minutes, I would say, not including additional time here at Derdimus Park. It is Evergreen 4, Thomastown United 0 in the KCLR McCalmont Cup final. Thomastown, they've given as good as they've got. As we speak, here come Evergreen going forward again. It is Grinsell, the goal scorer of that fourth goal for Evergreen, but it comes to nothing, unfortunately, for Evergreen, and Thomastown come out with
Is it unfortunate for Evergreen?
I'm sure they want it. As you mentioned earlier on, Shane, I'm sure they'll want to put a bit of even more gloss on the scoreline that's already there, and I think they'll want to score another goal from play.
I say it's more unfortunate for David Grinsell as it is then for Evergreen. Evergreen have it. Yeah, it's theirs. You know what I mean?
5 in a row, Shane. What an achievement!
It's unbelievable. But who's going to stop them? Like, you look at, look at the facilities that they have there. The Dean Celtic have great facilities, don't get me wrong. Highview are getting there. You have Freebooters with the Fair Green, just a beautiful historic place, and they're getting that into an all-weather pitch. But Evergreen, they have a second all-surface pitch. How many pitches do they have out there? How many people are they able to facilitate out there on the Kells Road? They're only going to go from strength to strength. And it's a scary thought for clubs like ourselves or St. John's or anything like that, knowing that they have 4 junior teams. They're going to continue to go from strength to strength. And then Thomastown and Freebooters, as try as they might, it's going to be hard to compete because they're going to attract the best guys.
Yeah, not even just junior or obviously you mentioned those 4 junior teams, but their women's side of things, the youth side of things, school boys, school girls, is absolutely incredible. Everything they've done out there over the last 10 years or so. From where they came, I remember I used to play for Evergreen in school boys levels. I used to play in Larchfield, and from there to where they've come to now is incredible. It's a testament to everyone that is involved with the club, and I know you mentioned that it is a long way back, but ultimately it's up to the other clubs to reach their level rather than them coming down. As we speak, it goes long. Was that a foul on Rory Monks? The linesman says it is a free out.
But you're talking about the people. You're talking about the people involved in the club. You just look at that Evergreen manager over there, Gary Marr, right?
Yeah.
Gary Marr has a full-time job, but he also manages this team. He manages the under-19 team. He's involved with the under-14 team. And the under-19 team came away with a victory, I believe, against Dean Celtic in the under-19 Cup. Dean Celtic managed to win the under-17 Cup against Freebooters. But that's a man invested in a club. Yeah. That is what volunteering, that's what local soccer is all about. And the same on Thomastown. Like, everyone.
Yeah, I don't think we're saying that. Just as we speak, it is full-time. It has ended in the KCLR McCalmont Cup. Evergreen 4, Thomastown United 0. The Evergreen players, supporters and management team can't celebrate. For Thomastown, it's disappointment. They can't end the town club's dominance of this KCLR McCalmont Cup. It's 5 in a row for Evergreen, and for Gary Marr's side, for Thomastown, it is bitter disappointment. The 6-year wait goes on to claim the biggest cup trophy in Kilkenny soccer. Shane, looking back on the game, deserved victors to say the least.
Deserved victors, but Thomastown can still hold their head high. Thomastown can still hold their head high over what they were able to do throughout spells of the game. You know what I mean? It was that madness of 5 minutes and then another set piece goal that let them down. I think Thomastown should be quite proud of themselves getting this far as well, but it was always going to be hard looking past Evergreen with the quality that they have in that team. Lads like David Grinsell, we've seen him get that 4th goal on the bench. That's mad. That's crazy when you think about that. He's such a good, talented player, and they have it all in spades. Thomastown have produced some amazing players. You see some great displays there. Andy Kavanagh coming onto the side. We know that Colin Whelan came from Thomastown. Ella Malloy, who you mentioned quite a few times, coming from Thomastown. They're doing great things. They just need to keep pressing and pressing on. Hopefully, for their sake, they have a Mock Lawler trophy in their cabinet come the end of this month. But, if they go up against Evergreen or indeed Bridge, it's going to be a tough ask. Tough ask for you, though. Man of the match, Robbie. Who are you picking?
I'm going to go with Mikey Drennan. I think, you think about that last goal. He put the corner in there. He obviously got the key goal for Evergreen. I just think he was, I've said on numerous occasions at this stage, he's a cut above. I think you can just see his quality. You can see why he was so wanted by every single League of Ireland club, and also, he was over at Aston Villa. I remember he spoke to us. You could see soccer is just in his blood, and he is a truly incredible player. He showed it again today. So the KCLR man of the match is Mikey Drennan, and I think well deserved by Mikey there. Shane, before we go and hand back to Sinead in the studio, it's a great occasion, obviously great for Evergreen, great for Thomastown to be here, albeit they're not the result that they want, but just for Kilkenny soccer in general and local soccer, we obviously have a massive supporter of it here at KCLR. It's great to see so many young people out here getting to see the best that local soccer has to offer, and it's just a brilliant occasion to be involved in, isn't it?
Yeah, testament to the KDL, especially last year when it got so congested with fixtures, but we've reached the pinnacle really of Kilkenny soccer today. After such a long season, you have the Leinster provincial stuff to factor into it. You have so many of the cup competitions, the league competitions to factor into it. So credit to them for what they were able to do today. It was a fantastic occasion. We still have lots of local soccer to look forward to. You've mentioned the Mock Lawler Trophy, the Divisional 2 Cup Final, which is probably the second most prestigious cup competition.
Not too sure about that.
Castlewarren Celtic versus St.
Bit of a conflict of interest.
We're back out here next Thursday. Robbie, you better score me a goal. You better score me 5.
You better pick a good team. But today is all about Evergreen. There are divisional cup finals to come, as Shane mentioned there. They are crucial games, but the KCLR McCalmont Cup goes to Evergreen, and deservedly so. And yet we'll hand back to you in the studio. Sinead, it ends Evergreen 4, Thomastown 0.
KCLR Live Sport. The KCLR McCalmont
Well done, Mikey. Just get these cute ones here in order. And I'd like to thank our officials today. Tristan, referee. I keep forgetting the boys. Vinny and Paddy, fourth linesman. And I think Jimmy was fourth official, was it? I can't see that. We done that. So if we could have our referees up. First of all, McCalmont Cup referee Tristan Early, and our mayor will make the presentation. Probably safer over there. Bring him up first. It's written on. First assistant referee Billy Kiley, Paddy Murphy, and fourth official James Nolan.
Yes, Pat, you're very welcome back to the presentations are taking place at the moment. It's the match officials. Recognised and rightly so, Mayor Andrew McGuinness, as well as the present media are here, and I'm delighted to say John Corrigan is also here as well. We know he underwent an operation the past few weeks, but he's vital fit and he's here for the presentations. He can survive anything, but that's what's taking place at the moment. The trophy in front of us is absolutely spectacular, and it really is the prime tournament.
Now, if I could have the captain, please, of the Thomastown team. Well done, David.
He's just recognising there.
And Nathan is going to take him in a group. So if we could also have the manager and assistant manager of Thomastown United, please.
And as you heard there, the Thomastown United representatives are being recognised, and rightly so. They're getting a round of applause here by those who stay back in Derdimus. A disappointing performance.
Paul Dempsey and Tom Butler. Well done, lads.
Thomastown backroom team are coming up. Paul Dempsey, the assistant, Tom Buckley, Trish Dempsey, the medic, and kitman James Stewart. And they really are a team, Thomastown United, as along with many other KDL teams, not just on the pitch, but in the background as well. So So presentation is going to carry on. John Corrigan, he has medals.
No, because as the manager of the captain, please, of the victorious Evergreen team.
Reception being
The oldest Tom, you can call out your team.
Tommy Earl, what a day for him. To win a McCalmont Cup, I know it's a wonderful occasion each year they do it, but I'm sure it doesn't get any less satisfying, even though they keep dominating in this particular tournament. Nathan Cherry is going to talk, I think. Well, he's putting down the mic, maybe he's a bit shy, but he's shaking hands with Mayor Andrew McGuinness. And he's going to give a few words. Here we go.
Mikey Drennan, Becky McCullen, Dylan Hunson, Sam Hickey, Andrew Wall, Jamie Byrne, Jamie Owens, Neil Andrews, Lee Delaney, Ben Hickey, Mark Slater, Sam Johnson, Chris Worthy, Anthony Mulville, Craig Wall, Philly Johnson, Damo Kelly, Nathan West, Robbie Kwan coming up.
That was just Evergreen team captain there, Nathan Cherry, announcing the Evergreen names and those who are involved in the matches today. And rightly so.
Gary Owens, Conor O'Neill, Jim Crow, Gary Marr.
Just represented by Andrew McGuinness. The pictures are being taken as well. I himself a goal. I don't think you can have any more difference than that in this 4-0 victory. Gary Marr is receiving his medal now from the trophy list is about Captain Nathan Cherry. Can be barely held back.
You have to make a speech, huh?
Just want to obviously thank the league and referees for putting the day together. It's never easy refereeing a final, let alone when the two teams go fairly full-blooded at it. So thanks very much to the referee, the officials, and to the league as well. Commiserations to Thomastown. We always know that it's going to be a tough game no matter what. We got a good start in the first half, but we said inside we'll be back at it very quickly. So, well done to Thomastown. We're sure we'll see you again next year at this stage. Thanks to Gary, Connor, and Jim for Everton all year. We're not the easiest lads to manage and coach, I'm sure. But the lads always see it through and it's always calm and always positive, so thanks to the three men for Everton all year. And then finally, thanks to all the lads here on my right. It's an absolute pleasure to be the captain of this team, for even if it's only for a season, or even if it only happened by default because we lost other captains early on, but it's a pleasure and couldn't think of a better group of lads to be involved with. Well done, boys.
Nathan Cherry, don't drop. John, it's always the prime day of the soccer calendar.